My boyfriend gave me rules to follow, but he broke them himself.
Rules are technically meant to be broken, so.
Hello, everyone. I have a bit of a weird predicament to share with you. I have been dating my boyfriend, we'll call him Peter, for about 7 months now. When we get along spectacularly. Our chemistry is off the charts. We're playful, we're both driven, we have similar interests, same career path. We both read for leisure, both interested in exercise. I've been told by many friends that they can just sense how much we care about each other and that we have the same disposition. Calm, relaxed, sweet. If not for the following stuff, I would be head over heels for him. Heck, I already am when he's not acting this way. By the way, this comes from Rules 7. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, this stuff started happening about a month in. Peter is an extremely jealous person. He's admitted this to me. He can also be a bit judgmental and conservative. The following is a list of things he's asked me to do for him throughout the course of our relationship. I haven't asked for anything like this in return, and I've even asked him if he feels like I've done the same, and he said no. No cursing, no low-cut shirts, no devil's lettuce, not a big deal. I've smoked less than 10 times and was okay with giving this up for him. He prefers me to not get wasted, not a big deal. I don't drink a lot, but it kind of sucks that I can never let loose and get tipsy with my friends without a comment from him. No perverted jokes with him or anyone else. He says the jokes would be funny if a guy said them, but they're not funny if I do it.
Break up.
Break up.
Break up.
Break up.
Break up. Can you imagine if our relationship was like that?
No. There wouldn't be one. No.
Yeah, no, this is ridiculous.
The second that he told you what to wear, no.
Who is this man?
Yeah, my question is, it's like the first month he started setting all these rules. It's like, why did we not leave?
All I'm getting from this guy is somebody's a little insecure.
I'm getting, he's controlling you, he's controlling you, he's trying to control you, he's controlling you.
I guarantee you, this man does not find women funny.
No.
He's like, oh, I guarantee you.
This is the biggest red flags.
I guarantee you, even if you farted, he'd be like, break up. We're done. The girls don't do that.
Oh, women, did you just pass wind?
Yeah.
You gotta go inside, clean that up.
This guy sucks.
No using a joking little kid voice with his friends, even girls. No talking about other guys around him because he thinks I'm trying to make him jealous. No talking about past relationships, even though he does this. No emojis in texts with other guys. Oh my god, it's still going! No exclamation points or sounding too flirty or happy when talking to guys. Audibly say goodbye when we part ways. Verbally greet him even if I'm late to class. No speaking to male friends on the telephone or texting after 10 p.m. at night.
So I'm just gonna let you know you have like 7 more.
We're 7
There's like 7 more. Yeah.
Text him when I leave my apartment and I'm on the way to school. This isn't a specific rule, but if I don't text him for 3 to 4 hours during the day, he'll say, "Oh, hi there, silent one. What have you been up to?" He likes me to stop by his study space when I get to school, before class, after class, and before I leave at the end of the day. He stopped by my space less than 10 times in our 7 months together. We've had a bit of a power struggle when I've wanted to go out with my group of friends. There is a structured timetable of how much I'm allowed to talk to my ex. We broke up 2.5 years ago and had a year of silence. Recently, we've been speaking on Facebook. He doesn't have my phone number. It's just random stuff about our undergraduate, just friendly stuff, lighthearted. I'm only allowed to talk to him once every 3 weeks for 10 to 15 minutes. If he Facebooks me and it's been outside those 3 weeks, I'm not supposed to respond. He still gets mad even when the ex Facebooks me. Okay, don't text your ex, but also
If it's about undergraduate stuff, I guess, but like, I'm sorry, my brain is so fried from all of these rules.
Oh, there's more. I'm not supposed to flirt with members of the opposite gender. I don't. However, he's seen interactions between guys and me, and it appears he thinks that anything along the lines of smiling, laughing, or sarcasm are grounds for flirting.
He wants you to be a robot!
He doesn't like easily 80% of the guys I interact with on a regular basis. There have been a few incidents that have bothered me in the time we've been together. Just a few? In the interest of time, the most recent problem he and I have been having is my friend named James. James graduated last year from the program that Peter and I are in together. He's a big brother type to me. He was assigned TA for the class I was in, and I went to a study group he led. We became friends. We've been friends for 3 years, and nothing has ever happened, and neither James nor I have ever shown any interest in it. We just have similar political views and give each other dating advice on occasion. James came to visit the school, and he and I got together for lunch while he was here. He was here for 3 days, and I saw him once for only an hour. Before he visited, we texted back and forth, maybe once every 10 days. Since he visited, it's been 2 to 3 times a week, about 10 texts at a time. The fact that you have to think about how much you are texting a friend of yours.
The fact that you need like a database.
And
like,
you are subconsciously worried about the reaction that your boyfriend is going to have.
You need stats, literal stats of who you text, when you text, how long you text. No emojis, by the way. Hey, OP, can you breathe? Are you able to breathe? Because it seems like that's going to be one of his rules, because this is ridiculous.
Nothing outrageous. I imagine it'll start lessening when it's been longer since his visit and exams approach. He's in a new city without a lot of friends, and I enjoy talking to him. Because he's working, he usually texts me on Saturday and Sunday more than the work week. James texted me last Saturday morning. I didn't answer, so he followed up with a text on Sunday. We chatted briefly about a TV show. Then he texted me again this Saturday to tell me about his date the night before. This has been driving Peter up the wall. He's demanded to see the texts back and forth, even though I strongly object to this, as I think it's an invasion of privacy only 7 months in. I let him see all the texts. There was nothing inappropriate there. This is where the no emoji rule came from, though. However, Peter says that James is a shark and is only friends with me because he wants to date me. This is ridiculous because James and I have no feelings toward each other, act more like siblings, and are going to be living in different states for the rest of our lives. Peter causes a fight every time he notices James texting me or gets pouty and silent until I ask him what's wrong, and then we fight. You're 7 months in. Dump this man. Leave this man.
Please.
Dump him.
Not me, but
this
him.
is the most... Oh my god. About 2 hours ago, Peter gave me another rule. He wants me to arrange it so James only texts me once a week. No word yet on how many texts I would be allowed to exchange with him. He also says he doesn't want us talking about intimate things. When I asked him what that entailed, he brought up that he was mad that I told James that I was going to take a nap in the last conversation we had. I only told James that as a conversation ender so he wouldn't wonder why I wasn't responding. Peter just seems unreasonable. I guess here's the big problem. None of those were the big problem?
Girly pop.
This man is completely controlling your every move. I feel like Peter gets mad about something, fights with me until I'm worn down, then comes up with a compromise, which is really just him imposing another rule on me. There was a guy who liked me at the beginning of the year that I eventually had to block on my phone because Peter got so mad about it. He asked me twice to show him that the guy is really blocked. He really is. Same thing happened with the ex, and I know his end game is me never speaking to the ex again. Peter had a jealousy issue with my friend Rob and wore me down to the point that I basically just avoid Rob now. Rob even approached to ask if I was mad at him and apologized for whatever he did. I just feel like this is going to keep happening over and over. I never get the benefit of the doubt. James is constantly afraid I'm going to be stolen, and I feel like I teeter-totter between wanting to give him what he asks so he'll feel comfortable and feeling like it will never be enough. I feel like a caged animal because he's keeping you like you are one. I'm afraid every time James texts me or any guy speaks to me in front of Peter, I like him so much, but this jealousy is driving me crazy. I'm also afraid if we're together, I'm going to get to the point where I'm not allowed to be friendly with 50% of the population. I'm in danger of losing a total of 3 good, respectful guy friends, all of which I've known for longer than Peter. I knew Rob for 2 years, James for 3, and the ex for nearly 6. I'm not a bad person or a bad girlfriend, and I'm tired of being treated this way. We fight at least weekly, sometimes twice a week, over an issue like this. I just wanted to stop and be with the person I fell so hard for. He was lying to you. This is not the person you fell so hard for. He never was. He's lying to you. But I also don't want to end up in a controlling relationship with someone who can't manage their jealousy.
You already are.
In one. You are already in one.
Has no one told you that this is ridiculous and inhumane?
You are in an extremely controlling, abusive relationship, and poor sweet child, you're not gonna realize it, but you need to.
Just dump him. There's no point. The fact that he just keeps coming up with more.
Yeah.
More rules.
Like Caitlin says, first it'll be the guy friends, then the girlfriends, and then family.
And then you're just gonna be a robot. He's treating you like you're a robot.
Yes.
These rules are just, I'm programming you to just not do this anymore.
It's the classic way that this all starts. They will isolate you from everybody that you know, and then they will have complete control over you.
And then he's gonna play the victim once you call him out on it. Or break any of the rules.
Or make you feel bad until you wear down again. Yeah.
Just get out.
Any advice ever been on his side or mine? He's already going to a counselor, but our school only provides one every 2 weeks, and he missed his last appointment. He's open to couples counseling, but I don't know if there's a point 7 months in. Because he missed the last appointment, he hasn't brought up the jealousy thing with his counselor yet. He's willing to read books on this topic, but I feel like the problem is that he won't start to get better until he really trusts me and wants to change. He says that he does, but then he keeps doing this stuff. We have an update.
Speechless.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
speechless.
So, if anyone out there is listening to this, like, hey, that kind of sounds familiar, you know what to do.
Dump him on his hat.
It's
my
right
hat.
there.
I went and picked up a book 2 days ago about controlling relationships, which was recommended to me by a few Redditors. I've read 160 pages so far. Honestly, I'm so turned around in this relationship that I don't know what's happening anymore. I do, thank God, I do think that this relationship has some disturbingly manipulative and controlling elements coming from Peter. All! The thing is, I cannot even remember the, 4 good things that you kind of mentioned about this man.
We have the same interests.
Because there are none.
We have the same
We
interests.
have the same degree.
We have the same degree. He's
Great.
funny. When he controls me and I can only laugh at some of his jokes.
I can't be funny.
I can't be fun.
Girls aren't funny. What do you mean? We've had several incidents in the last 4 weeks which have been very disheartening. Here are a sample. I went out to happy hour with friends, a guy and girl that are engaged to each other, at 5 p.m. while Peter studied. I guess he assumed we were eating dinner together because we eat most of our meals together. He didn't confirm that, though. He knew where I was going and who I was with. I put my phone away because my friends both had their phones away, and it was just us 3. My phone was on silent because I had been in the library. Also, you're with your friends. Shouldn't have to check your phone all the time. I checked my phone every half hour or so. Last time I checked it, he had sent me a text asking about dinner and then a snarky follow-up 15 minutes later. I had ordered an appetizer with my friends and wasn't hungry. I told him to go ahead and eat without me and we'd meet up later. I decided to go back to my friend's house to play with their dog and have another adult beverage. Peter had told me that he was going to study until 10 p.m. and then wanted to spend the night together. All of a sudden, Peter was mad at me for not telling him I was eating, not telling him we switched locations, even though I did within 10 minutes of switching places, and telling me that he had a right, as my boyfriend, to know where I was. He said I was inconsiderate and selfish. He was texting me every 10 to 15 minutes, angry at me, and completely ruined the night. I couldn't hide from my friends that I was upset, and it was borderline humiliating. I went home by 10 p.m., but I didn't want to see him because I was angry. He didn't apologize until the next day after we talked about it extensively, and even then tried to justify it. I feel weird around my friends now that they've seen this. Peter and I had a good day on Tuesday. We had fun. We're getting along, etc. I came over to his place, took a nap, he went to soccer, and then I ordered us dinner. We ate together and bonded. I checked my phone. I keep it in my backpack now at his request.
Oh my gosh.
And he saw that I had a text. He wanted to know who it was from and what it said. I told him it was from James, asking where I was studying this summer, my home state or my school state. Peter started lecturing me about getting texts after 10 p.m. I'm sorry. Should he call it, like, do you want to control the whole world? It was 10:30 where we were. 9:30 where
dumbest thing
James
I've ever
was.
heard. Who's texting you after? I didn't do anything.
Is this guy your boyfriend or you're like I don't know.
This
like,
is beyond
your
any
prison
relationship
warden.
you should have.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, what is this? It's not even like a father. I was like, oh, it sounds like your father. Like, you can't talk to boys after this certain time. But it seems like he's treating you like a gremlin. Like, you're a mogwai. Deep cuts, if you get that one.
He talked about how it was inappropriate. He wouldn't talk to a girl so late, and asked why James wanted to know where I was. He asked if James was planning on visiting me. James and I have no plans like that whatsoever. Later, I got chapstick out of my backpack, and Peter started accusing me of sneaking around to text James back. I wasn't. He asked me 3 times if that's what I did. I almost left, but Peter convinced me to stay. No! He's not the one who can... All of a sudden, I felt suspicious. I asked to see his Facebook chat log so I could see when he had last Facebooked his ex that he swears he hasn't spoken to. He refused. Stop it with the exes. I ended up leaving, then coming back and saying if he wouldn't show me the same transparency he demanded from me, it was over. He still tried to say no. In retrospect, I'm horrified by how angry I felt. I've never ever felt like that towards another person. He ended up showing me the log. He had a long conversation with his ex from Christmas Eve, which was laden with inside jokes, flirting, and spicy-related references. I asked to see his phone. Whole months were missing from his call log, but he had 2 voicemails from her, which insinuated they had some contact with each other. He swears that's all there is, but almost half his call log is gone. This is something I could forgive in a normal relationship, with remorse and change, but it hurts a lot considering that he's breaking rules he's given me, lied, and been hypocritical. She's blocked him now, but that's not the point. He's got me to the point where I feel guilty every time a male friend talks to me, and I've actually started believing that I'm doing something wrong if I laugh at a guy's friend's joke. I feel sick when my phone goes off if I'm around him. I've been reading literature on controlling relationships and shared my concerns with him that he's meandering into this territory. He's been dismissive of it almost every time I've brought it up. I've had 3 friends tell me they're concerned based on the rules and his jealousy. A+ friends! He just says he has high standards and boundaries and that I would be jealous too if the roles were reversed. I don't think I would be, but he insists I would. I just feel like he doesn't listen to me or take me seriously. I thought things were getting better. He said I could just text James whenever I wanted and he would be less harsh or critical in general. Yesterday, though, he asked if I had responded to James and why that guy wanted to know where I was and said it was weird James was being so nosy. I think James was just making conversation because he's your friend of years. Yeah. Then, last night, I was studying with friends and Peter walked by. Peter and I had just fought. We had been at dinner 10 minutes before. And I was mid-word in conversation with a friend and just made eye contact with him and looked away. I got a text asking why I didn't smile and wave. I apologized and said it was my fault and didn't mean to hurt his feelings. I then got more texts saying I was cold and demanding an explanation. That got me upset, and I tried to tell him that the constant criticism and control was too much, that I felt like he was trying to control my emotions and make me pretend to be happy when I wasn't. He told me I was overreacting and he was tired of arguing and just wanted to be good and nice. I feel like he starts a fight, expresses his feelings, then wants it to be over. Even though the criticism and control is really wearing me down and making me agitated. By the way, I'd be agitated if you didn't come and listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. We have more. But how are we feeling?
OP, this is where you have your friends and your support system, they're there for a reason and they know you sometimes better than you do. And I get it, like you said before, you don't, because you're so isolated from that. And I guarantee you, it's not when, or it's not if, it's when you get out of this relationship that it's going to be so freeing and you're going to find a partner that you're like, it's so eye-opening. That you're like, this is what a relationship should be like, and it's so healthy. It's crazy. No, go to the wide. Go to the wide. Yeah.
Sorry.
Great relationships. I just feel like if I stay with him, I'm going to end up giving in and letting him criticize me. letting go of my guy friends, and apologizing when I mess up. This is not even you messing up. That I'll just end up a shell of myself and cater to his needs instead of compromising.
That's what you're already in. You're already a shell of yourself.
Yeah.
You, again, don't talk to your friends. You cut off people that you care for, and I get the ex is like, I get it from a perspective, I guess. But if you're cordial, I guess it makes sense. But like everybody else, I don't know.
The X thing is also completely negated when he's also texting his.
Bingo.
So.
Like it's gotta. I feel like it's gonna hit OP, and it probably same thing
It's
like you.
already hitting her though. That's
but it's
the
like,
thing.
Hers is slowly. It's like, okay, the snowball.
It does though. That is. Yeah.
But I feel like it snowballs into like hyper speed velocity of like
it picks up.
shoom. You're like, oh my god. Wow.
And it's also the fact that like she is now aware that she is being so controlled, and everything that happens now, she's going to be like, oh my god, this is another thing. This is another thing, and it's just gonna go. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I think he gets insecure and doesn't know how to fix it, so he wants me to do it instead of asking himself if he's overreacting.
That's not it. You're almost there.
I mean, he definitely just doesn't want to fix anything, and I'm sure he's insecure, but this is well beyond that. I think that's how we get all these rules. He's fixing symptoms and not the root cause. I don't think any of this is malicious. I think it's all malicious.
You're like kind of there, and you're swimming so in the wrong way.
I tried to break up with him again. 2 days ago. Again. He begged me to wait until after finals, so it's a little bit better for him, you know? 8 days. Eventually, I agreed, but what is it? Can you break up with me in 8 days? I'm not really feeling it right now.
Yeah, can you do it after finals when I feel like it?
Eventually, I agreed, but said that there would be no sleepovers or physical affection. He says he knows now that he's being controlling and manipulative, and he'll change.
That's a blatant lie.
But I'm not seeing any change. I just feel so confused as to whether I'm overreacting or not. He wants to read the book when I'm done with it and says he'll learn from it and wants to stay with me. In 8 days, finals are over. In 17 days, I graduate from law school. I just feel so bad about myself and confused. We have some comments.
Straight into the comments. Brain is hurting from all this man.
Comments. Comment 1. You're reluctant to because manipulators find ways of picking at your brain to get that reaction. I'm a stranger. I have no emotional connection to you or him. He is controlling. He is manipulative. You aren't happy. Maybe get a friend to go with you to meet up with him in a public place, tell him it's over, and there is nothing to talk about or to fix. There is no rectifying your relationship, and you are done with him. Cut contact, block his number, block him on social media, etc. You aren't unreasonable or overdramatic. You aren't ruining anything because there's nothing to ruin. This isn't a relationship anymore. You can do this. The end.
Girly pop. No, I need an update where she breaks up with him and she's like,
I need to
you
know
guys
you're
were so
out of
right.
there.
Everyone was right but him. Okay, like I said, it's not when, or it's not if, it's when. It's got to happen sooner or later. I mean, you've already broken up with him a couple times, but it's got to happen, and you're in law school. This is insane.
This is wild.
OP.
That's so sad. I want
Stop.
to
Yeah, you keep like doing the circle of like, okay, great.
This is what it looks like.
This is gonna be good. I think I'm gonna get out of this. He said I'm wrong, and he's gonna fix it and change it, and it's the endless cycle. Just veer off, go up and go your own way. Oh man, is there an update, Dakota, on that?
I'm looking. I don't think so though. Let me double check.
That's okay.
I'm gonna go with they went 8 days and she broke up with him.
I don't
I
know.
hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
I really hope so.
Oh,
What?
we did it.
There's an update?
It's not really an update. It's more like a completely separate post, but I'll give you the title. 2 years out of an abusive relationship, and I'm so
Thank
happy I could burst.
Thank you.
She did it, everybody.
She
Is
did
there-
it.
She did it.
is there
let me-
anything
10
else?
out of 10.
Here. There's another list. There's another list here. Let me give you a list. Here's a list of things that have happened to me in the last 2 years that have been better than my terrible relationship. Passing my state bar exam, becoming a lawyer, starting a new job where I feel challenged and respected, getting a gorgeous new apartment, getting into the best shape of my life, making friends with a strong group of intelligent, kick-ass women that my ex would have never let me befriend.
Yes.
Doing what I want without being guilted for not following my ex's expectations, getting a cat and not needing to worry about her safety around my ex, leaving my house without having to give text updates, smiling at strangers without being questioned, being approached to run for office and saying yes because I wanted to. And then the last bullet point is just literally everything. So she did it. We got there.
Like I said, it's not a matter of
Frustrating
if, it's a matter of when, and you did it.
You did it.
And look at you. Your life is so much. It's just like,
Crushing it.
oh wow, wow, what a leech that man was. And again, if you're in that situation, or if this situation sounds remotely, close to this story, seek your support system. That is not him. Talk to them, and maybe start taking a step back and realizing this is not healthy for me, and this is not right. So that is the end of that story and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.
My brother gave away my girlfriend's dog. Now his children have taken the fall.
What do the kids have to do with this?
Back in 2019, right before the pandemic started, I, then 28 female, moved to a different country with my girlfriend, 30 female at the time. We each had a dog, who we'll call Sam and Lily.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's you and your brother. You and your brother?
Can't escape.
Sam
you and your
and
brother.
Lily?
Sam and Lily? That's
We
crazy.
brought my dog, Sam, with us to our new country, but Lily, my girlfriend's dog, had to stay behind due to a rare medical condition. Our good friend had a dog of his own already and agreed to adopt her as long as we continued to pay for her pricey medication. By the way, this comes from on the r/Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
Oh, you're not going to skip out on me this time? I'm Keon.
NOP says, about 3 months after we settled into our new home, we got a call from our friend in tears.
Uh-oh.
His dog had been seized by animal welfare, and when we asked to video call to see Lily, we discovered she was in poor condition as well.
No.
So this whole time, you're paying for these dogs to be taken care of, and he's not even taking care of them? The dog we saw in that video call barely resembled the Lily we knew. My girlfriend cried all night. We immediately went into solution mode. My mother happens to be dog crazy and lives in my home country. She offered to pay over $2,000 for a last-minute flight so Lily could fly to her ASAP.
Oh, wow.
booked- yeah.
Wow.
That's a
You guys
lot.
love your dogs.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
We booked the very next available flight and had an animal transport service go collect her. The only catch was my mother had a trip booked the same weekend Lily was meant to arrive. Lily landed Thursday and my mom would return Saturday. So we asked my brother if he could collect Lily from the airport and watch her for 2 nights until my mom could pick her up. At the time, my brother, 31 male, lived with his girlfriend, 32 female, and her dog Joy in his girlfriend's small apartment. Since it was only for 48 hours, he agreed. My brother, let's call him Brad, went and got Lily and took her back to his girlfriend's place. Let's call her Maria. Joy and Lily did not get along, and Maria was not happy about having this dog in her apartment, causing chaos and fighting with Joy.
Dang.
At about 5 a.m. my time, I got a call from Brad telling me that they had given Lily away.
What?
How can they do that to you, Sophia?
Dude,
I mean,
okay.
Lily.
Okay. You don't even understand. It seems like you don't. How much trouble and how much effort people are trying to do to help Lily out.
Yeah.
And you're out here giving her away.
Giving her away? Just give her back.
Yeah. What?
This was Friday, so they had her for less than 24 hours
That's wild.
and only had to keep her until the following day, but had elected instead to gift her for free to one of their friends. What are you can you arrest them? Is that
Yeah.
theft?
And
I
then
feel like that's
also,
theft.
one of the friends
Take?
take a dog that seemingly wasn't doing okay.
Yeah.
Is it a special dog?
Maybe they
Does
didn't
it-
know. Maybe
Does
they
it have
didn't
some
know.
special juice or special eggs in it?
What?
Or you can breed it? I'm
Huh?
just trying to see the monetary value in this.
Did you just say a dog has special eggs and juice in it?
I mean, that's what they do. That's how they breed.
Who are you?
I
I'm just
was
trying
in
to
shock.
make sense of this. This is crazy.
You're scaring
I
me.
was in shock.
Me too.
As he explained, they would never tell us who these friends were. We'll never tell you who these friends are.
You know why? Because they're the pound.
Oh, no. Where they lived or give us any contact information for them. I burst into tears, asking him why. He told me we had given up all rights to her when we left her with that friend. So he blamed us for her condition, despite the fact that we'd moved mountains to get her to safety as quickly as possible. Brad told me I was a terrible person who only cares about myself. My girlfriend was the same, and he was surprised anyone could even love me. Jesus, who's
Okay,
this guy?
how much hate in your heart do you have to give away someone's dog and then also say this about your sister?
Yeah, yikes.
What?
He actually said he was surprised that my dog Sam loved me. He refused to budge on us getting Lily back. So I walked into our bedroom, shaking and crying so hard I was hyperventilating. My girlfriend shot up in bed and immediately started asking what was wrong. I wondered how I could tell her that her dog was gone and she would never see her again, and it was all my fault for entrusting her to my family.
Oh, dude.
Somehow,
Ugh.
wow, I managed to shakily get it out, then we were both crying.
Oh, dude. How can you even have that conversation?
I mean, yeah, that's so hard. Be like, I'm sorry, my brother stole your dog.
My brother gave away.
My brother
Your
gave
dog.
away your dog, and I don't know where she is.
This is insane. Insane.
Now, my girlfriend and Brad had an amazing relationship. He legit called her the favorite when she answered the phone, as in his favorite sister. They laughed and joked and even went on trips together without me. He never got along with one of my partners like that before, so we called him back together and put him on speakerphone. My girlfriend was begging and pleading with him, asking why he did this and please tell her where Lily was. We even said that if she's happy in this home, that's fine, she can stay there. We just need to have their contact info so we can keep in touch and know how she's doing. But no. Brad, now joined by Maria on speakerphone, just tore both of us apart.
Question. Was Brad with Maria whenever your girlfriend, OP, and Brad hung out? Like, it seems like Maria may have something against OP's girlfriend.
Maybe,
and this is
yeah.
why she's
Maybe
doing all
she's
this
jealous.
Stuff. Yeah, because maybe
Hmm.
Maria, is her name Maria? Yeah. Maybe Maria wasn't in the picture, and now all of a sudden, why are you taking care of that girl's dog? Why are you doing this? She still likes her? You guys went on multiple trips alone together? Boom, 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 boom.
That could be. That's a good conspiracy theory. They called us horrible dog owners for leaving her with my friend, saying this made us not worthy of knowing what happened to her now. They didn't want me to have contact with the new family because all I have is drama, and they didn't want my drama to affect their friends. They said I'm a loser and my job is a joke. They mockingly said the name of the industry I work in over and over again. My choice to live overseas is a pipe dream, and I need to wake up and be a real adult.
Why does this have to do with the dogs?
No, I don't
I
know.
don't think it
Yeah.
has anything to do with the dog.
I think they're just
insane.
haters.
Yeah, what? None of that would involve the dog.
You're disgusting. This one stuck with me the most because they kept screaming it again and again. These people are crazy. Throughout the conversation, I could hear Maria on the other side of the room screaming it at the phone. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. She's having a mental breakdown.
She does not like your girlfriend, OP.
He was surprised my dog or my girlfriend even loved me because I'm such a cold, empty-hearted, manipulative, selfish person that I am inherently unlovable. These people are having mental breakdowns. When I pointed out that mom offered to take Lily, he started mocking me for calling my mommy for help instead of being an adult. What is his problem?
What is happening here?
I don't understand. Those were the last words I would ever hear from my brother. Maybe this is a good time to pause for some context.
Uh-oh.
Brad and I were always close. We moved a lot as kids, so we always had each other. We actually moved to another country alone together for a year or two when we were in our teens. Even once I moved away for good, we'd have hour-long phone chats at least once or twice a week. I've always looked up to him since my earliest memories of being alive. Maria and I have, by contrast, pretty much hated each other from the moment we met. She and my brother met in regular use recovery, and I'm grateful that they're both clean and sober now, but beyond that, she's been problematic for our family. Maria is extremely insecure and needs to manipulate and control everyone around her so they can never leave her. I mean, their reaction in that phone call is very clear that they are unhinged. And she has poisoned your brother against you. Or
What?
poisoned You
Yeah.
against your brother.
Brainwashed.
Yeah,
What can I say?
your brother again. Yeah, no, that was
Called
right.
that. Called
Mhm.
that from
Yeah.
a mile away.
She cuts you off from anyone else who could be an influence in you, and I was obviously her biggest target due to my close relationship with Brad. Her first step when dating Brad was to systematically remove all his friends from his life.
Oh,
So
no.
naturally, he married her.
She's isolating them. Goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
My girlfriend and I called my mom, our friends, other family members, anyone who could help us get through to Brad and get Lily back. To my surprise, Brad called me later that day on his lunch break at work, alone, no screaming Maria in the background, and calmly apologized for how he'd spoken to me before.
You what?
He said he didn't mean those things, he was just angry, and of course he'd give us the dog back.
What?
Huh? Huh?
It's like a leech. Like when she's in the
Dude.
room, he transforms.
Dude,
That's crazy.
it's like she's a freaking Horcrux.
yes.
Huh?
That's insane.
This is so crazy.
What is going on? You don't say those types of things when you don't mean
You
them.
can't yell that at your sister
Oh
with
my
your partner in the
God.
background. We obviously know what the problem is.
It's Maria. How do you solve a problem like Maria?
I know some people.
I know some shovels.
Relief flooded over me. Tears of joy now as I told my girlfriend he'd had a change of heart. A few hours later, back at home, my brother called again with Maria screaming in the background and repeated all the horrible insults, rescinded his apology, and said we would never get the contact info of the people they gave Lily to.
What the hell?
I would literally so confused. I would think that I would like if he started screaming that again, I'd be like, are you having a stroke?
Probably. Dude, how can you apologize, feel so bad, tell your partner, and then get on another phone call and then say, I rescind my apology?
Could you
Like,
imagine OP just like picking up the phone? It's like, oh, it's just my brother. He's gonna like, we're gonna figure
Yeah,
this
he's
out, and
gonna
he
tell
just
us.
starts grilling you
I'd
again.
be like, huh? I would be like less, upset and more just confused.
this guy is just,
No,
he's mind
stop.
controlled.
The next day, back at work, Brad called alone again to apologize.
Jeez.
That night, he called back with Maria screaming and rescinding the apology and so on and so forth. Dude, you need to get you need to get where the address is when he's at work.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
waiting for him to be at home.
Yeah, and get him and Lily out of there.
Yeah, Pinky the Slayer says they're probably back to using.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Oh.
This went on for days. I think 5 days in total with 3 to 4 phone calls each day at random hours due to time zones.
Well, random
would
hours due to
stop.
how late they're up.
I would stop responding to them if I thought, like, I would be like, hey, when is your work hours? And then I would stop responding after his work hours.
Yeah.
Every time they would repeat these horrible insults, and I'd be crying the entire time in shock that the roller coaster was restarting again.
Dude, you don't have to answer the phone.
Dude, yeah, stop answering the phone. But finally, somehow, my mother managed to convince him. She ended up driving over to pick up Lily, and that was the end of that. She brought her to her expansive property in the countryside with her multiple other dogs, where Lily lived until she passed away last year at the ripe old age of 15. That is such a good
Aw.
age. She lived for a while. She and my mom were obsessed with each other, and she was one of the best family dogs we've ever had. She had a long, happy life. That's lovely.
A long,
However,
barky life.
oh, I thought you were trying to. Okay, that's all right
Like
then.
puppy life.
Yeah.
A long. There's a pun here, but I can't think of it. Got anything?
However, it's now been 6 years, and I haven't spoken to Brad.
Sorry. She had a long, happy life, not a rough life.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
He's since married Maria. They have a daughter, and their son was just born a few days ago. I'm on the way to my home country to visit next week, and my mom is pressuring me to mend things with my brother and go see them when I'm there. But he never apologized. For weeks, then months, I waited for him to reach out. I waited for him to say sorry for betraying me like that with Lily, for saying so many hurtful things, and for us to have to talk about it. Is that really how you see me? At the beginning, I was hoping he and Maria would break up, and then he'd come running back to our family and apologize for letting her cut him off from the rest of us. But obviously, once they got married and we found out Maria was pregnant, I knew that would never happen.
Because she's going to trap him.
That's
She's
so
like-
sad.
Dude, I can baby trap him?
That's so sad.
No.
But like to lose your sibling that you were close to this person to the point where like he's screaming hateful things at you.
Yeah.
Then, as the months stretched into years, the time itself became a wedge between us. The amount of time it had taken for him to reach out hurt more and more. And now it's at the point where I feel like, how could we even reconcile when you let me sit with those words for 6 years, when I've changed so much as a person? In that time, my mom has told me about his life and him about mine, even though I specifically told her not to. The way they mocked my job made me feel like any information I tell them about my life is fodder for their cruel jokes. Anything my mom has told them in the past 6 years, she tells me they scoff at and criticize. Then why are you telling them anything? When they got married, I told my mom I'd go if they both essentially got on their knees and begged for my forgiveness, but that it had to be genuine. Only if both of them, including Maria, genuinely were willing to make amends and build the trust back that they had broken with me. Clearly, that never happened. By the way, you know what always happens?
What's that, Sophia?
You guys listening to full episodes of stories just like this.
But where?
Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
But how long do I listen for?
Forever. You can never leave.
And you can be our Brad, and we'll be your Maria.
Ah, yikes.
No.
But there is a little bit left. So as much as I'd love to meet my niece and nephew, as much as I adore my brother and miss the closeness we used to have, as much as there's nothing I want more than to be able to call him and talk to him about tough times in my life, or just laugh and joke like we used to, I know that we can't go back to how things were. I will never be able to tell him anything about my day other than it was good or I'm okay, because I don't trust him anymore. I don't trust that he sees me as a vulnerable person with my own feelings who needs support from my family sometimes. I don't trust that he won't snicker about my darkest moments behind my back with Maria the moment we hang up the phone. If that's the case, what would the point of having contact be? Fake pleasantries and awkward smiles for the 1 week I'm home every year? It's heartbreaking to realize that this is the point our relationship has gotten to, when he's always been the person I love most in the world. But I just don't know how I can move forward when I still fear in my heart that he really does believe all those things he said 6 years ago. So am I wrong for going no contact with my brother and never meeting his 2 kids, all because he gave away my girlfriend's dog?
It's not because he gave away, that is one thing, gave away your girlfriend's dog. It's how he treated you.
Yeah.
No
he
one
was
should
terrible.
ever do that.
He
He's
was
a
just
horrible
a
person.
terrible person.
I would have gotten no contact with him a long time ago if it weren't for the dog. If you had the dog, I would have been like, all right, cool, bye.
Yeah. Once you get the dog, it's like, you have no reason
That's
to be in my
crazy.
life. You're a terrible person.
Yeah.
And
What's the... Sorry.
Yeah. But
That
that's the end of that story, folks. My boyfriend tried to control my entire life until I finally left him.
Left him in the dust.
All 25 female refer to my boyfriend as Xander, 31 male. He comes from a powerful and wealthy family in my city, which is relevant later. Things started off peachy. He was always affable, pleasant, and accommodating. However, I'm starting to realize certain issues which have me questioning everything.
Oh, no.
By the way, this comes from China Red Flag BF, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And we try to give our best advice, but we haven't experienced most of these situations ourselves. So if you have, let us know what you would do in the comments. But OP says, incident number 1. He got mad at me because he felt I wasn't appreciating an expensive gift. He got me a specialized tech gadget, which cost about $4,000.
Okay.
That's pricey.
Was it something you actually wanted?
I was surprised by it, as I'd never mentioned any inclination towards this gadget. I'm not very tech savvy at all, and he'd never asked me about it. Also, this gadget requires a lot of time and practice to use. I was concerned that it had cost so much. If I had known, I would have told him to get me something less expensive. Anyway, I still thanked him and said that I appreciated it very much. A week later, he asked me if I had used it yet. I answered no, but would eventually get around to it. He got upset and repeatedly asked me if he had just wasted his time, effort, and money, and told me that if that was the case, I should just dump the thing.
He's like, I spent $4,000 on the most high-quality theremin money can buy.
Why was that the first thing I thought about, too?
A theremin?
I was going to say a theremin instead of a violin, but I was like, people won't get it.
Because
People won't.
We're theremin folk.
We're theremin folk.
We're just simple theremin folk trying to make our way in the world.
He's like, you just don't understand. Why do theremins just sound like you're humming?
What?
I could do that for free.
Yeah, we don't even need a theremin anymore. We can just make the noise.
Incident number 2. He blew up at me when I was at the gym at midnight. Fitness is very important to me, so I always make sure to go to the gym consistently. I usually go right after work, which ends at 6 p.m. However, sometimes life happens and I go later. One day I went at 10:30 p.m. Before I left, I told him I was heading to the gym, and he said, okay. Then silence. So I assumed he was doing his own thing. I was done around midnight, checked my phone, and there were 12 missed calls from him. I immediately called him back. He demanded to know why I hadn't been answering my phone. Didn't I know what time it was? Didn't I know what sort of impression it was giving for me to be around other half-unclothed, sweaty guys this late? And that he was too old to be chasing his girl around in the middle of the night. I'm not your girl anymore then.
I was at the gym, idiot.
I was honestly shocked because when we started dating, I would tell him when I went to the gym late, and he didn't have any issues. I think he's projecting and he's cheating on you.
Probably.
Incident number 3. He told me he didn't feel attractive when I asked if we could reschedule to 1 hour later. We planned to meet up on Saturday afternoon. On Friday night, he called me and we ended up talking until 3 a.m. Because of that, I overslept on Saturday. I texted him telling him I overslept and would probably take an hour more to come over. He told me that he felt I didn't seem interested in him or our relationship anymore and that he was the only enthusiastic one. I tried to tell him that wasn't the case. I just needed some me time. It's the weekend and my only time to sleep in. But he still told me he didn't feel loved in this relationship. For context, we usually see each other one day during the work week and I spend the weekend at his. Incident number 4. He got mad when I talked to another guy on our holiday tour. We signed up for an 8 to 9 hour tour. Another guy around our age was traveling alone, and Xander got talking with him about work, sports, and current issues. They seemed to like each other well. I was happy that Xander had made a friend and just let them be. At the end, when we were heading back, I also got into conversation with this guy about what he thought of the tour, what else he was going to do on this trip, etc. All along my conversation, Xander kept butting in, asking me abrupt, irrelevant questions completely unrelated to my conversation. So I wasn't very responsive as I was engaged. When we got back, Xander told me that he felt I ignored him and was more interested in the other guy than spending time with him. He also said that if we had been back home, he would have told the guy to get lost so we could spend time together. But because we were in a foreign country, if the guy had reacted badly and they had gotten into a fight, we would be screwed because nobody knew of him or his family there. I'm sorry, he was saying that he was going to use his family's prestige. He's like, if we were back home, I would have just told that man to get lost. Don't you know who the Smiths are?
If we were back home, I would have had that man thrown into a ravine.
And nobody would have stopped me.
I would have him thrown into the people who speak out against my family ravine.
Don't you know who my mummy is?
Don't you know my father's the dentist in this town?
Don't you know my father runs the only dentist office? I come from a long line of dentists.
Don't you know? If he would have done that in my hometown, I would have taken his teeth.
My father will hear about this.
My father will be undoing your teeth.
Incident number 5. He was getting me to apply sunblock on him because he didn't want to get his hands dirty. It started with him asking me to put sunblock on his back, which I'm okay with since he can't reach. Normal, yeah. Then he told me I should do the rest, which I found princessy, but did anyway. By the 3rd day, I was tired of it and told him he should sunblock himself.
And on the 3rd day, I decree.
I'm sorry.
I will sunblock thyself.
He made you put sunblock on his whole body for 3 days?
Well, after day 1, he's like, I guess this is the program.
You just do it so well. I would help with his back, but he could do the rest on his own. He said, but my hands will get dirty.
What does that mean?
And I responded, oh, so it's okay for me to get my hands dirty, but not you? He made a face and said, well, this is new. I've never dated a girl like this. I still stuck to my pew-pews and did not apply sunblock on the rest of him. Incident number 6. He told me that my past bothered him.
Oh,
when
break up with me.
Yeah.
Break up with
Bye.
me then. Bye.
When I was younger, I was very sheltered and religious. A few years ago, I realized I had no clue about dating or being physically intimate. As a result, I ended up hooking up casually for a while before realizing casual isn't for me. I focused on dating to know someone better without sleeping with them. I was honest with Xander about this phase before I met him. At the time, he seemed okay and told me he had done similarly during college. However, recently he told me that it's different for guys than it is for girls, and that what I had done bothered him. I countered that I had been honest, it was a while ago, and I'm comfortable with who I am today. If this was an issue for him, he shouldn't have gotten into a relationship with me. I told him that if he couldn't get past this, he could move on. Yep. Bye. Incident number 7. He sort of broke up with me, but didn't follow through.
Girl, where
Break
is...
up with him.
Pick your self-respect up off the floor,
Please.
god dang it.
When I told him he could move on if he couldn't get past my spicy-related history, he paused and said, "Well, I did try." I asked, "Does this mean we're done?" And he said, "I guess." He started to leave, and I told him, "Take care and all the best." As he gathered his stuff, he kept saying, "I'm sorry we couldn't make it work. And I did really have a good time."
Wow, he was saying all of that like
Yeah.
this. He'd be like, "I'm sorry I couldn't make it work. I mean, I really did have a great time with you."
Woo woo. I said, "You don't have to apologize or try to make me feel better. It's fine, really." He hesitated and said, "Are we both sure this is what we both want?"
Oh
I
my
said,
God.
"Well, it seems like it's what you want." To which he said, "No, it's not what I want. I thought it was what you wanted."
What?
Man literally said, "I don't think I can get over your past." And OP said, "Okay, well, my past isn't going anywhere." And he said, "Well, maybe this is over."
Yeah, unless
she
your
said,
stinking
"Okay."
rich family can build a time machine, my
Yeah.
past is where it's at. And he goes,
Oh, no, but wait.
"Wait, but are we sure we
Wait.
both want this?" I'd be like, "I do now, you absolute buffoon. Get
Yeah.
out of my face."
I meant that if he couldn't get past my history, he could move on, but otherwise, I was willing to continue. We eventually didn't break up. Oh.
Ugh.
After that, he told me that it bothered him that I could have let things go so easily.
What?
You're the one who said I want to move on. So I don't know. Am I being irrational or is this legit? Are we still getting used to each other and can we make this work?
Oh my
And there is an
God.
update. Oh, what do you say, Dakota?
I would rather you date a sea urchin.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
rather you get overly attached to a eccentric hobby like speed cubing or cup stacking.
I would rather you were on that show, My Strange Addiction,
I would rather you
to like a lamp.
not date this guy.
Yeah. Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
Date the lamp.
Date the lamp. Update. After making the post, I reevaluated the relationship and had a talk with Xander. Against my better judgment, I decided to give him another chance.
What?
Stop!
The
The incident that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Last Sunday, I asked if we could spend Friday night together to get an early start to the weekend. He said he would let me know about his schedule. Monday, I received a dinner invite for Friday from good friends. Since Xander hadn't confirmed his schedule, I assumed things were still up in the air, so I accepted. I informed Xander that I would be doing dinner with my friends and would meet him a couple hours later than initially suggested. He flipped out.
How many? Double, triple, quadruple, front flip, back flip? What are we talking about?
At least one. He demanded to know who was so important I was going to meet. He asked if a frivolous dinner with mere friends meant more to me than spending time with my significant other. I responded that of course I valued my significant other, but there were other people I liked to have in my life. He told me I could go date those people then. He went on about how I was incredibly disrespectful towards his time and that I was jerking him around. I told him I didn't see how that counted as disrespectful since it was only Monday and the invite was for Friday. I was keeping him updated way in advance so he could plan his time. It wasn't like I was pushing plans back last minute or canceling. By the way, you should never cancel on listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Oh, yeah.
There is a little bit left to this story.
He really just be grasping at this point. Now he's like, "Oh wow, you have friends that you're gonna hang out with?
Yeah.
Great."
Mm-hmm.
He just wants control. He just wants to be able to control you and dictate whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Salvaging this is like trying to salvage the wreckage of the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's just better off
Just leave it down there.
lying dormant at the bottom of the ocean.
But Opie continues. I told him that since he hadn't gotten back to me on a schedule, I had the impression we weren't confirmed, so I accepted the invite. I also said that from my point of view, when I make plans with someone for the whole weekend and they push things back a couple hours, it wouldn't be a big deal to me, so I didn't see why he was being so drastic. He then said to enjoy myself with my friends, and that he hoped the dinner would be worth the cost of our relationship. I responded, okay, there's still some stuff that both of us have at each other's places, so we're meeting up later this week to return things. And there is a second update. 5 days later.
I swear, if this update ends with y'all getting back together.
Well, it says the exchange went smoothly, so not a great start. As per suggestions, I went with a friend who's a semi-pro MMA fighter.
Wow, that was the suggestion?
Xander seemed pretty upset and was being really nice to me and wanted to hug it out when we met. I grabbed my stuff, dropped his, and left. Oh, I guess they are breaking up. P.S. I gave that $4,000 gadget back. Not interested in keeping any remnants of him around or giving any possible reason for him to contact me again. And that's the end of that story. My girlfriend got a massive tattoo for me, and I don't like it. They just can't get my nose right. I'm 31 male, been with my girlfriend, 27 female, for almost a year. I've always made sure she knows that I wanted to take things very slow and didn't want anything too serious right now. I've only been divorced for a year, and I have primary custody of my kids, 2 and 4. So they are and have always been my priority. I can't stress how clear I was about keeping our relationship casual. By the way, this comes from Chris0427, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And OP says, anyways, I have a lot of tattoos. I won't pretend they're all super meaningful, but most of the bigger pieces are related to my hobbies, friends, family, and random stuff I'm into. My girlfriend only has the teeniest, tiniest tattoo on her ankle. So small. I was away last week during the Vegas bachelor party road trip thing when she texted me that she had a surprise for me and sent a pic of the tattoo. It's a tree that starts where the butt meets the leg, ends on the back of her neck. The branches have crappy tattoos that are copies of mine. Of many of mine. A few in particular piss me off. One is a copy of a tattoo my buddies and I got to commemorate a friend who passed away. Another is very similar to one of mine that was inspired by a drawing my kid did. I showed it to my friends and they all think she's effing crazy. Her explanation is that she liked my tattoos, so she wanted to get similar ones in her own design. She did it to honor me. She said she got it for me. She went to a crappy artist, so it looks pretty bad. And the design isn't great in itself, which I think defeats the purpose of honoring someone. They mean literally nothing to her between her copying my tattoos and having a genuinely crappy tattoo covering her entire backside. I really don't find her schmexy anymore. It's a huge mood ender. She was my dream girl in bed, so without that, there isn't much left. I'm starting to consider just breaking up with her because what she did seems so insane. On the other hand, we've been dating for almost a year, and I am really into her, and she now has this giant tattoo honoring me, so breaking up would suck. Opinions, and there are some relevant comments, but what do you think?
I would break up with her.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, if you're so mad about it, like, this is the reason why you should never get a tattoo
Yeah.
for someone that's alive. and
Like,
that you're
lesson
dating.
learned for you.
Yeah. It's been less than a year. It's been casual. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Maybe
Yeah.
discuss this with me first.
And you know, like also maybe for you, OP, we don't label the casual relationship, because I feel like the
Yeah.
second that you label it, it becomes inherently not casual.
Yeah.
At
that's
least
just
for
like
one
a separate.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just in general.
That's just a separate note.
Awesome Ashley says she just ended the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
relationship ender. Relevant comments. Broke Nil says, she's crazy. This is so effing insane. I would run far. If she got a tattoo to commemorate something special between you two, meh. But to copy your tattoos, bat crap crazy. And ones that were so personal to a life before her. OP says, I haven't explained what they all mean to her, so she might not know that the one tattoo is commemorating my friend. But still, pretty crazy, right? Is where I'm helping. I swear I'm helping. It's even crazier that she doesn't know the meaning of them. It's like she just wants to wear your skin. Ooh. Cat Chris says, I had to check that I wasn't on no sleep. This made me shudder. OP run, hold on to your skin. Deleted says, did she do all of this off of memory? 8 hours isn't a drunken tattoo mistake. Was this maybe planned? Did she take pictures of all your tattoos? Is it weird that 1, her friends, and 2, the tattoo artist did not say anything? OP says, I'm guessing it's based off pictures. Newer or crappy artists don't seem to care what they tattoo as long as they get paid. Stephanie says she got a detailed butt-to-neck tattoo finished in one setting. I won't lie, I'm kind of impressed. She sounds nuts, though, and you don't talk about any of her good qualities other than being your dream girl in bed. So dump away, I guess. OP says it's not done yet, but yeah, she sat there for 8 hours getting this crappy tattoo. She does have really good qualities, but I have never seen her as a future wife material, you know? Lolitot says, if you never saw her as future wife material in the first place, then why is this even an issue? Just break up with her and move on. Why do you need the validation of strangers to convince you to do something it seems you already know you want to do? OP says 2 reasons. 1 is that despite not wanting to get married right away, I was still really into her and this came out of left field. And the other is if I do break up with her, she's probably going to feel pretty bad now that she has the giant tattoo on her back. Dude, that is a terrible reason to stay with someone.
Yeah, because imagine if a stranger came up to you and was like, hey, I saw your Instagram post. Here's my tattoo I have of your face.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean you have to marry them now.
No. No.
Not at all.
That's a terrible reason to marry someone or be in a relationship because
Yeah.
you feel bad. Deleted says, as harsh as it may sound, the tattoo really isn't your problem. That was a crazy thing to do, and you are in no way responsible for all the negative fallout she'll suffer because of it. When told to just let his girlfriend live with a bad decision tattoo, OP says, it would also give me peace of mind that someone out there doesn't have the same tribute tattoo my buddies and I have for a friend that passed. Granted, she removed the text, so it doesn't mean much without it, but still, I'd rather that not be on her. An update 9 days later. We broke up. I tried to stick it out, but the tattoo was too much of a turnoff, and I just didn't find her attractive anymore, which is the opposite of what she had intended with it. The breakup went about as expected. She completely lost it, and yes, she was mad because she thought it would lead to something more serious eventually. My artist agreed to finish the piece for her, and he will cover up the bits that match my tattoos. It should be very easy since there wasn't any shading yet. I'm glad she agreed to see him because now her tattoo has a chance of looking decent, and I can be certain that it will be properly covered up. By the way, I'm not going to cover up that you can listen to full episode stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I think that's very nice that your artist who, you say is very good is going to do that. And that seems like it'll work out.
I think so.
It's not, your face on there, a little harder to cover up. But,
That's true.
Wait, I just had the visual of like if you have someone's face and you don't want their face tattooed on you, you have to put like a disguise on them, and then you just put those glasses that have like the mustache and the nose. Yeah,
that would be a great way to cover up someone's
it's
face.
like you're never gonna know who it is now.
Yeah, that's not my ex. That's
Yeah.
a different person. I tried to get her to explain to me why she thought it was a good idea, but all she kept saying was that she truly believed I would like it, and she thought it would help move our relationship to the next level. I told her she should see a therapist, and she told me to F off. So there you have it. And there are some final comments. Nick Stuff says, I told her she should see a therapist, and she told me to F off. Well, crap. Clearly the tattoo wasn't thought through very well. Now she has a permanent reminder to never do something that grand again without proper self and peer consultation. I think this worked out well for you. OP says, hopefully she's learned that was a big mistake to make. Bretatron1 says, and a costly one, I'm guessing. OP says, I'm paying for the cover-up. Figured it's the least I could do. Madam Iron Mouse says, you must really care about tattoos looking not crappy. Kudos. OP says, it's not so much that, although it does bother me. Her having the tattoo that my friends and I all have to commemorate our friend that passed away bothers me a lot. She got it for all the wrong reasons and didn't even know what it meant. I just want to know that it's covered up. And the kid's drawing one just creeps me out. Madam Ironmouth says, did she know the meanings of them? OP says, well, she knew that the drawing by my kids was what it is. It's obvious a 4-year-old drew it. She didn't copy that tattoo exactly, but used the same art style for a tattoo of her and her dog. I don't think she knew that the one was a memorial for my friend, but either way, it has a skateboard in it, and she doesn't skate at all. Just weird that she copied it. One of the ones she copied is so stupid. I got it when I was 16 and think it's funny now because of how stupid it is, and now she has it on her. OP, when asked just how huge was that tattoo, says it went from butt to neck diagonally across her entire back. Just the outline because she only did one session. It included a memorial piece for a friend that passed away and a copy of my kid's drawing. It wasn't very well done either, and that is the end of that story, but yeah. My boyfriend picks my clothes and criticizes me for not liking it.
Babe, you don't understand. I'm just trying to be making you fashionable, dude.
We've been together for 6 years. Over the past couple of years, my clothing has become more and more of an issue. By the way, this comes from...
Comes from a whole bunch of gibberish.
And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I'm not a girly girl. I don't put on a full face of makeup every day. My style is generally more casual. With that said, I am by no means a slob. I almost always have my nails done. I wear a lot of denim in different shades and cuts, fitted leggings, tees, tanks, and sneakers. I have a lot of cute flats too. I'm not much for heels though, just on special occasions. I'm going to tell you right now that this post is from 2015.
Check it out.
I'll check it.
Is it 10 years old?
Do you have a guess?
No.
I'm saying within the last 5 years.
10 years old. 10 years old. Do
All
we
right.
have 10 years
You're
going
10
once?
years old?
I mean, go ahead and read. I'll check it.
All right. On an average day, I'll do a quick, simple down hairstyle or sometimes, less often, a ponytail. I'll usually do some eyeliner and tinted moisturizer. If we're going out on the weekend, I'll do a full face of makeup, the whole shebang.
Shebang.
My boyfriend grew up with a mom and grandma that get dolled up to the nines just to go to Target. They live for name brands, constantly talk about shopping, and are always done up. I did not. My mom ran to the store in jeans and a t-shirt. It was normal. I've tried explaining to him that I simply am not that person, but he doesn't seem to get it. He says I'm not fashionable. So I did my best and ordered an entire closet full of clothing based on things he likes. My entire closet is
Aw.
now extremely tight, fitted short dresses, short skirts, and almost all crop tops.
Baby girl, what are we doing?
Why? That's so weird.
So, I looked it up. Give me my money. So in the
It was
last
5
6
years?
Last 6 years, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. He's got it.
So, wearing this stuff is really uncomfortable for me, and not stuff I'd ever really buy on my own for myself. Frankly, I don't even want to leave the house every single day with my stomach and belly button showing at 31 years old. I'm in good shape, but that's not the point. He thinks he can pick my outfits. Literally, at this point, anytime we are heading out, he goes to my closet and picks out my clothes. If I say anything about not wanting to wear something, for example, I feel bloated today and would really rather not wear a crop top, he gets immediately upset. There have even been a couple of times when it was really cold, and I told him I didn't want to wear shorts and a crop top because I was cold. And he got upset saying it wasn't cold.
Literally, why
This is
even
so weird.
stay with this person a minute after that conversation?
This is really strange.
What a freak show type thing to
Yeah.
do.
No, that's really weird.
Like, unless you're 100% like supportive of that,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Or
yeah, no, I want my man to pick out all of my outfits.
Or 5 years old.
yeah, or you're a baby.
Yeah.
But no, you're not. You're 31.
Yeah. He says I always make excuses not to wear stuff he wants me to wear. I guess from his perspective, it seems that way. But he doesn't understand that he wants me to dress in a way that is totally foreign and not natural to me. A while back, I wanted to go to my aunt's house for a barbecue, and he insisted I wear a very tight and short dress. I told him my family is conservative and that it was not appropriate wear. He flipped out, and it turned into a huge argument. I have tried over and over to explain this to him, but he just keeps saying that how I dress matters to him, and that it's my fault for being closed-minded, for not listening to him, and that I have a confidence issue. I don't know what to do. I have also tried telling him that he's hurting my feelings and making me feel unattractive. Any suggestions? And there are some comments.
Break up with him.
Yep.
That's freaking gross.
Yep.
Whoa, what are we doing?
Pretty cut and dry there. That's kind of it. You just got to break up.
Like, it's if you stay with him, it's not going to stop there. It's going to get worse. He's going to start controlling all the things that you eat. He's going to start controlling all the things that you like. Guess what? You like that TV show? No, you don't. Why do you
No,
like that
you
TV show?
don't.
I don't like that TV show. You shouldn't like that. That matters to me.
Yeah.
What?
No, I think there is like a difference between telling your partner you like a certain outfit or buying them clothes or maybe like offering advice versus saying you have to wear this or I'll get upset. Or like you not wearing this is kind of a deal breaker for me. Like that's strange. But there are some comments. Star Striker says, Jesus, this is insanely weird and controlling behavior. You're not a Barbie doll. He doesn't get to pick your outfits for you. Please tell him in no uncertain terms that he is not allowed to pick your clothes and that you're going to wear what you like and what makes you feel comfortable. And if he doesn't like it, he can shove it or leave. Edit, this sort of thing will only get worse the longer you put up with it. And he seems to be testing how much you will let him control your life or if you'll put your foot down. I'd leave him if I were you. And Black and White Paint says, you deal with it by leaving a controlling a-hole. This crap is harmful behavior. He's a big boy. He understands your words. He knows how you feel. He does not care because he does not love you. He just wants to own you. OP added, I guess I always tell myself, maybe it's me, maybe other guys do this too. At times, I feel so confused that I can't tell whether what's happening is really a problem or whether I'm just overreacting. This thread is a wake-up call. And there is an update 10 days later.
I hope you're 10 days removed from having that boyfriend.
Ditto.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Get rid of him and, find your own style. You don't need him.
There are other guys like that, but not every guy. He's not the only guy like this.
So true.
But guys are not only like this.
No. 10 days later, after continued arguing, I finally moved out of the apartment about a week ago because we decided that we needed space. He begged me to move back, but I said no. I agreed to do couples therapy along with my individual therapy. My therapist told me it would be normal to go back and forth and even repeatedly think about going back to him because of the psychological impact of everything I've dealt with for 6 years. She said to just keep working on it and not feel the need to make a final decision before I'm emotionally ready. The first couples session we did was a disaster, with him screaming the entire time and the therapist implying as much as she could that this was really nearly impossible.
She's
listening.
screaming
She's
in
like,
therapy.
She's like, ooh, I don't think this is going to work out. I don't think I can therapy you guys.
I don't think your situation or this situation
is not working out. You're going to have to find a new therapist. We then decided to look for another therapist to continue trying.
No.
All week I've been calling and emailing different therapists trying to get an appointment. I finally found one with an open spot and asked my fiancé to send his insurance card. Of course, because it's now beyond clear that he doesn't give a crap, he delayed sending it to me for 2 days. Never once asked if he could help or if I needed any help finding someone. Per usual, it's all on me. I was having a lot of emotional turmoil, obsessive thoughts, back and forth, and asked him if he wanted to do something together tonight just to talk about what we were doing and where this is going. He told me he really needed space to think on our relationship and meditate on it. I was upset, but I said fine. About an hour later, he accidentally dialed me. I picked up saying hello and just heard mumbling in the background. As I waited, thinking he called me to talk, I heard him and a woman's voice. No.
What a little goober.
No.
Well, if that wasn't the most obvious, I need time and space to meditate on a relationship with another woman.
I need time and space with my meditation partner.
Yeah, my meditative
Susan.
My meditative mate.
She stretches me out.
Whoa, Sophia.
For meditation. They do yoga.
She stretches out my brain.
That's what she
Yeah.
meant.
Dirty yoga.
The phone then hung up. I called back asking what that was all about. He seemed confused and said he was at his mom's house. Impossible, because I had just spoken to his mom a few minutes ago. I called him out and he said, okay, my aunt stopped by the apartment. Guy's just making up whatever lies he can get.
He's just using my sister. You don't have a sister.
My grandmother. Didn't your grandmother pass away
My
last year?
daughter. You have a daughter?
Again, makes no sense and totally contradicts what he said 2 seconds before. He then said, okay, fine. I admit it. I invited XYZ over. Let's talk about it later. He then hung up. Now, for the past 2 months, a female coworker of his has been calling him nonstop to ask for help with work stuff. It was always a little suspicious to me because he's only been at that office for a few months, and this girl has worked there for years. Why does she need to come to him specifically with every single question? He is not a supervisor or in any managerial role.
You already know the answer to that question. I know
Yeah.
you know the answer to that question.
You already know, girl. She also called him a few times to ask for relationship advice and mention how she likes bad boys. I'm sorry, she called him and said, hey, I was just wondering who you thought I should date, because I like bad boys.
Yeah, I like bad guys who cheat on their partners with me. Do you have any suggestions on who I should hook up with? Don't you have a partner? Like bad,
Do you have any
I like
bad boys?
boy.
If not, go fish.
And OP responds, why? Does she not have other friends, cousins, brothers, sisters she has to call my fiance? Anyways, I just gave it the benefit of the doubt, but he would light up any time she came up in conversation and referred to her as his work girlfriend. No. No. Yuck.
Ugh. Ugh.
At the same time, he had a couple female friends from his last job. In the past, I saw some flirty texts, but he insisted the two ladies were a sapphic couple and they were just friends. I didn't like it and told them it made me uncomfortable. By the way, it would make me uncomfortable if you didn't listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
My goodness, girl, get out of there. 6 years will feel like nothing once you're gone. Don't
Yeah.
let you being with this guy for 6 years make you stay another 6 years.
Yeah. Cut it at 6. Cut it
Ugh.
at 6. Call it a day. And that's it.
He's out here texting and flirting and has a work wife, but he's out here also begging you, please don't go, please.
That's so embarrassing for him.
Pathetic.
After he got caught, he insisted it's the spicy couple or the sapphic couple over at our apartment having dinner with him that he paid for. Well, I've been sitting at my house for 2 weeks agonizing about this relationship and trying to set up therapy and feeling guilty for hurting him. Meanwhile, he needs time to himself to reflect on the relationship, aka hang out with 2 women who he knows I have a problem with due to past texts. I say all that long drawn out crap to say that is the last straw.
Yes.
All the screaming at me, yelling, gaslighting, manipulation, temper tantrums, punching walls, constant needs for validation, minimizing, and I've endured was topped off by this. I honestly don't know that he hasn't cheated on me with the coworker either. I am done. I am so done. I only need a date when I can go by and move all my stuff out. Never again.
Yes.
And one commenter says, that was my thought. He didn't accidentally call when another woman was speaking. If he was really cheating, he'd work a heck of a lot harder to cover his tracks. He wanted to hurt her and rub it in. And OP says, I definitely consider this a possibility, which makes it even sicker than it being an accident. Who knows? The funny thing is that I know any conversation about this will be about how I'm controlling and not letting him have female friends. Because I don't think those women are interested in friendship. I now know he's projecting, manipulating, and gaslighting.
The unholy trinity.
And someone asks about moving OP's stuff out. OP responds, I plan to go when he isn't home. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be an opportunity tomorrow, as he's almost always got dinner plans with his mom on Sundays. My mom and sister will be going away with me to speed up the process. Editor's note, OP made a post 4 months later about a Tinder date, so she definitely left him. And that is the end of that
Yay!
story.
Confirmation
Woo!
that she left. Yes.
We love that. We love that.
So glad you didn't stay another 6 years.
Yeah.
Go,
yeah.
OP.
You just got to know when to call it, and you did. So good on ya.
You say, hello, you stink,
Bye.
and goodbye.
But that's the end of that story.
My girlfriend sent me a spicy picture, but she said it was an accident.
Just like Bob Ross said, we love our happy accidents.
We sure do. I, 24 male, have been dating Christina, 23 male, for a year. We have been long distance for the last 2 months, with 2 more months to go until she gets back from a program she's in. By the way, this comes from Naked Copy and Paste, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie,
I'm Keon.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in this situation. So let us know what you would do in the comments. So OP says, we often talk over Facebook chat. If you guys don't know how Facebook chat works, if you copy and paste a photo into the box, it sends it automatically. You don't get to preview it before it sends. So Christina and I are talking. She says she wants to send me this funny gif of a dog, and then she accidentally sends me an unclothed picture of herself in her bedroom. It wasn't a selfie. She quickly apologized and backpedaled, saying that she meant that for me, but she wanted to send it later as a surprise. I asked her who took it, and she said she set a self-timer on the camera on her iPhone. This excuse especially doesn't make any sense to me, because from the angle it's at, it definitely seems like a person took it. The weird thing is, Christina and I don't exchange spicy pics. I've never asked any girl for an unclothed photo, and she's never asked one of me. Sometimes we send each other steamy texts, but that's the extent of it. I'm also suspicious because the photo was already saved to her clipboard, which makes me feel like she pasted it somewhere already. Is my girlfriend cheating on me? How do I even find out? And there are some comments. Just to talk about Relat says, out of curiosity, has it actually been the full year yet, or do you have an anniversary coming up? It's possible that she wanted to send you some spicy pics as part of a present. Opie says, our anniversary is actually in about a week and a half. I wonder if that's what she meant when she said she was saving it for later. Another commenter, Poop Kebab, says, my wife sends me spicy pics whenever I ask for them. She sets the timer on her phone and takes selfies all the time. Your girlfriend having pics saved does not equal cheating. Talk to her about it. Tell her how you feel. This subreddit is chock full of insecure and untrusting people that think everything means cheating. Could she be cheating on you? Sure. But the pics don't mean that she is. Don't accuse her of cheating. Tell her that you did not expect her to send you a spicy photo and it caught you off guard. It wouldn't hurt to let her know that you find her attractive in light of the pic. That picture was hot, but I didn't expect it. If you don't trust her responses to your feelings about it, then you simply don't trust your girlfriend. Hence, your relationship is already gone. OP says, okay, this is a good idea. I really have no reason to believe that she's cheating on me, but I also don't really know the people that she has met and who she hangs out with on her program. And by the looks of these replies, self-timer photos are not as difficult to stage as I may have thought. An OP replied to another comment, these are really good points. My main thing was that I felt like somebody else took those photos of her, but a lot of these comments are suggesting that self-timer photos for spicy pics are pretty common. Birthday Butt says, exactly. OP makes it sound like a rule that they don't send spicy pics, but maybe she wants to. Maybe she was trying to get some spicy texting started since they're long distance, but didn't want to come off as too forward since it doesn't seem to be OP's thing. OP responds, right, it's a good point that just because we haven't sent them before doesn't mean that it's a strict rule, especially since this is the first time doing long distance. We do have an update from 2 weeks later. Thanks to everyone for their replies. It really helped put things into perspective. For example, it was way more common to take self-timer pictures than I thought, and that it's possible to check the metadata for a photo and find out some details like whether or not it was taken on a self-timer. I want to especially thank, just to talk about the Relat, for asking me if Christina and I had actually dated for a full year yet, or if we had an anniversary coming up. Because, as it turns out, we did. I don't know why I didn't make the connection on my own. And, as it turns out, my girlfriend is not cheating on me. Yay.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? couple days ago, I got a big package in the mail to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. Among other things, it contained an envelope filled with multiple spicy pictures of my wonderfully awesome girlfriend.
She
with
put that in the mail?
I guess so.
That's all right.
Sure. With a note saying, I know you never asked, but I wanted to give you something special since I can't be there with you. Among the photos was the one that she accidentally sent to me. She also included a USB with the photos uploaded, along with the physical copies, so that I could have digital versions. Wow, she is making sure you can see her.
She said,
clear.
she said, hoo-ha,
Hoo-ha.
ha-hee.
Hi. Hello, hoo-ha.
Wow. That's crazy for your, like, 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping there are kind of other presents in there, but listen, I mean, if you appreciate it, not a bad gift if you're doing long distance.
Could you imagine if that went somewhere else, though?
Oh,
That's
man,
why.
that would be bad.
That's why.
And then having the digital photos too.
or like
Ooh.
was like sent to Opie's like parents' house or like his house
Oh my
and like
God,
his
you'd have to
mom.
be so
My
sure.
mom opens my mail sometimes and I get really upset about it.
Dude, yeah, my dad opens my mail sometimes.
I'm
Makes
like,
me
why
so
did you
mad.
open that? He's like, it's for you. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's for me.
For me.
Not does it say your name?
Or he'll like feel it to like see what it is. And I'm like, Dad,
Why did I'm like,
just
what?
quit
It's
it.
not for you.
Yeah. Like, come on.
So I would message her like, hey, next time let me know you're doing that because for the
Yeah.
safety of you and our relationship and us and the privacy of things,
Right.
be a little
I
bit more
mean,
careful.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he lives on his own or something, so there's no
Probably.
chance of him.
But just
Someone
like
else.
even a roommate or whoever, because
Right,
your
yeah.
mail can get stolen
Possible.
whenever
Yeah.
or lost.
But it worked out, luckily. Here are a few extra details to better explain what happened. Christina did indeed take the photos herself. I asked her nicely how she managed to do a self-timer at such a good angle, because my initial reaction to the photos were that someone else obviously must have taken them. She showed me through FaceTime how she was able to prop her phone up against some objects in her room, and that they were exactly from the angle that she sent them at. To further corroborate this story, Christina had actually confirmed my address with one of our mutual friends a few days before the accidental copy and paste situation went down. So she had in mind that she wanted to send this package before, not as a cover-up for accidentally giving herself away. When I asked her how she accidentally managed to send that particular picture, she said that she was copying and pasting the files from one folder to the USB that she sent me. She forgot that the picture was still on her clipboard. When she tried to send me that GIF, it didn't copy properly, and instead she pasted what was on her clipboard previously. She said she was just relieved that it was me that she made this mistake on and not somebody else. Yeah, honestly, that's a good point.
Exactly.
And I would be so relieved if you would listen to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. You can find us there. Easy peasy. And there is a
Mhm.
little bit more to the story.
Yep.
But yeah, that would honestly be probably a more likely mistake of like copying and pasting it to someone else. That would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
There is a little bit more though. Finally, I took the advice that many of you commented and messaged to me. I checked the data on the image files and they were indeed taken recently on a self-timer. So, sigh of relief. Thank you to everyone here for putting my mind at ease. I was convinced that everyone was going to say that I was definitely being cheated on, but honestly, Christina has never done anything to even make me suspect that she would be cheating. I am very happy. And there are some comments. One commenter says, it's nice to see a happy ending on here every once in a while. You lucky effer. Yeah, well said. Another commenter says, reactivate Facebook, fire your lawyer, ask your gym for a refund. Sea Blue Seas says, Jesus, your girlfriend really trusts you. Sending physical and digital multiple copies of spicy pictures is a big deal, especially after 1 year. I would never send a boyfriend that much material. I know way too many people who have had their spicy pictures leaked by their significant other. Yikes. I hope that in the case of if you guys break up or go through a rough patch, you will either destroy them or return them. She trusts you with these, and so don't do anything mean or stupid with them if things between you guys go south. Red Fox 1 says, but he clearly doesn't trust her. Poor her. Well, okay.
Well,
I don't think so.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he was just like genuinely like, where
Just
did this come
double
from?
check in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final comment says, glad it worked out, but I don't know. If my boyfriend was that skeptical of me sending an unclothed pic and questioned me cheating and jumped to conclusions, I would not be happy. And that's the end of that story. I refuse to be my nephew's guardian, but my family won't leave me alone.
Take this nephew, please.
I, 30 female, have a younger sister, 28 female, Candy, fake name, who betrayed me when I caught her sleeping with my ex in his truck when we were teens. Our relationship has never been the same, and I moved out as soon as I could to avoid her. I have blocked her number on social media, changed my number, and told my parents if they ever gave Candy my number to her, I would change it again and then block them. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, after I caught them, Candy and my ex began dating, got pregnant, and married each other, but the marriage didn't last long. Let me guess, someone cheated on the other one.
I would think that is so crazy.
So crazy.
A
Unexpected.
couple of cheaters cheating?
No way. After the pandemic hit, my parents' finances took a hit, and I have been sending money to help out a bit. I have a nice job, and I have been able to work from home since April. During a Zoom call, I found out that my sister has moved in with my parents because she lost her job and couldn't afford rent. My dad mentioned this as an attempt to get me to feel bad, but I'm honestly indifferent to it and made it known. My dad then asked if anything happened to Candy and her ex. What would I do? This was obviously an attempt to see if I would take in their son like I agreed to do for my brother's twins, but I just played dumb. A few days after the call, I received a message from Candy. She used a fake account saying that she was sorry about what she did and would love to have me in her child's life. I responded back with a simple no thanks and blocked the account. Dang. The next day, I got a call from my mom asking me how could I be so heartless. That even if I decide to never forgive my sister, my nephew is innocent and that I shouldn't show favoritism. I calmly explained to my mom that while I'm doing great financially, raising kids is a lot and could only spare the money and labor to so many relatives. Plus, I still want kids of my own someday. When that wasn't good enough, I reminded my mom that my ex wasn't an only child and someone from his side could take in the child. My mom countered with the fact that I'm the better candidate and Candy and my ex actually want me to agree to do it. I decided to be more cold and told my mom that I have never met my official nephew, feel no attachment to the boy, and while I would feel sorry for him, I would not want to raise him.
Right. It's like we can feel sorry for people without being directly responsible for their well-being. I can't go like save them.
Yeah.
Also, I hate that it's like, well, they both want you to. It's like, did anyone ask me what I want?
Right.
Was there any, like, how could you be so cold and heartless energy when she slept with my partner?
Yeah.
What? While we were, hello?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Since then, other relatives have been calling to pester me about the matter and are even going so far as to try and convince my brother to pick someone else to raise his children, so I'll have no excuse.
What?
Why can't people leave me alone? We have an update, but wow, what?
Why can't all these people calling you to tell you to take care of the kid, you just go, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah. Also, nothing has happened to the sister and her husband yet. Nothing has happened. I think they got split up or something like that.
Well, they broke up, yeah.
They broke up, but they're still alive. So, you know, what?
It's just a crazy thing to be like, well, you can, so you should. It's like, well, why don't you live by that? All the people telling you to do that, tell them to live by that same logic. And watch how fast they go. Well, I mean, for me, though, I can't because of that. Oh, you can't. Me either.
Yeah.
So now what?
Right. But we do have an update. Thank you for everyone's comments of concern and support. I recently just got some big news that I'm still processing and thought sharing might help, but I wanted to clarify something first. I was still in a relationship with my ex when I caught him with Candy. Candy married my ex when she was in her 20s, and my nephew is currently 5. The first time Candy reached out to apologize to me on her own was the following summer. She then tried again my freshman year of college, then invited me to her baby shower to try and mend the relationship. She also tried when our brother got married, and once again after her divorce was finalized before reaching out to me over social media. I have refused. I try to avoid immediate family functions that I know she's attending so I can see her as little as possible, and I'm fine with that because what events I don't go to, I can usually spend time with my chosen family or to be by myself. I am an introvert, so it's cool. So now on to the update. I took a lot of people's advice and have started to temporarily block my relatives while texting my parents to let them know why and that they would be next if they didn't stop. And I would also cut off my financial support. Then my brother showed up at my door. I live about an hour away, so I knew that it had to be serious, and it was. Before the pandemic, my sister found a lump and scheduled a screening, but it kept being pushed back. Oh no. She then lost her job and told our parents when she moved in. My ex's mother also tested positive for the vid, and he and his siblings are all showing symptoms and have quarantined themselves until they get the results. That's why everyone started to pressure me. It even went so far as having my sister call the doctor on the speakerphone to confirm her appointment for my brother to hear.
Well, folks, we should be leading with this information.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh man.
And to be clear, this still does not oblige OP to now have to take care of her nephew.
Yeah.
But it does paint a different picture of like, I am in a bad place.
Right.
And I need your help, not just because of anything I've done, but I have a diagnosis.
Yeah.
It's going to cost money. It's going to take time. I'm going to be unhealthy. Like, I need someone to be able to be there for my son.
Yeah.
That's different than being like, hey, you want to do this with my nephew, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He Googled the place and called that same number on his own at a later time, and it's a real place. I'm not going to lie. I was shocked to find this out, and I don't know if this changes the way I feel about my sister. I guess part of me feels like this is some elaborate lie. Like, why wasn't anyone telling me this in all the phone calls and messages I kept getting? We do have another update.
It is so weird to leave that out.
Well, yeah, I wonder if that was more of like a recent thing. Like if that happened after. Well, no, it seemed like it was happening around the same time because of the pandemic. But I feel like people should pay attention to the fact that they don't even trust the sister to like make the appointment to get it scanned. Like they have to be on the phone and call the doctor later to be like, yeah, she has an appointment, right? Because like they don't trust her to do that. So it's like, let's consider the sister's actions when we're like blaming OP for things. Yeah. Getting mad at OP. But we do have a second update. So just for closure, I wanted to give the ones who cared a final post about my situation with my sister and nephew. So here it goes. After a lot of thought, I have decided to look into therapy for next year. Good. I don't believe that I have any issues that are holding me back, but it doesn't hurt to check. And if I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere or discovered something after a certain time, I'll just stop. I also decided to cut contact with my parents and let them know that I would agree to have a sit down with my sister and actually engage in a conversation with her. Mostly to just hopefully put a rest to this. When I did, I told them that it was to be a meeting between just the two of us and at a neutral setting. If at any time those demands were not met, I would leave and that would be the end of it. My family knows that it's not a bluff. I met my sister and we spoke, and here are the highlights of the conversation. The test was confirmed that there wasn't any that it was just benign. Okay, well, good.
Good.
My sister admits that she and our parents were just overreacting, which I don't fault them for. Can be scary. True. My sister apologized again for what she had done and admits that she was just being a stupid, orny teenager. She always felt insecure and got some sort of validation from being with my ex. She admits that the marriage was a mistake and even had doubts on her wedding day, but felt like she just had to commit to try and justify her actions. She's always regretted how things turned out between us, but became even more regretful when she saw how great of a relationship I had with our brother's wife and their twins. She wanted that for her son and thought that if there was that it would finally reignite our sisterly relationship, and that's why she wanted me to be her son's guardian so bad. I told her how much her actions hurt me, honestly the first time that I ever verbalized it to her directly, that I don't trust her and that I'm fine with never being close to her again. Wow. I agreed to make more of an effort to interact with my nephew, and she agreed to never use him to insert herself into my life. Those are the main points to everything. Also, I have decided that if it comes down to me or the foster care system, I'll take in my nephew, but I'm keeping that information to myself until needed. And what I need you to do is go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime, because you're going to find more full episodes with stories just like this one.
Yeah, over 2,000 of them.
So many. Get on over there after this story, though. But okay, I think that was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Would you forgive the sister if you had a sibling and they did this to you?
I don't know. It would depend.
Yeah.
Like, how long did it take them to have that conversation? Like, when did this happen?
Well, okay. if we,
Because they just now resolved it, and it's like, well, if this was when they were teenagers, how old are they now?
they are, OP is 30 and the sister is 28.
It took them a decade to talk about this.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
A
Guys.
long time.
Guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Folks. Talk
Talk.
to each other.
Please.
Speak your mind.
Yeah.
Because you probably could have come to the conclusion, yeah, I was a stupid teenager.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A little sooner. Maybe you could have avoided even marrying that guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would depend on like how she acted around it. Like she was apologizing a lot. I could see myself forgiving someone who was apologizing a lot, but if at the time she was really like snarky about it and they had lots of fights and like, you know, she was like, well, of course, like we're in love, you know, just being all like bitter about it and stuff. It's like, well, that I would understand, like not having the same kind of relationship with her.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I feel like I would want to try to fix things.
right.
But there is a little bit more to the story. So a little update for info. Just to be clear, when I promised to make more of an effort to interact with my nephew, I meant that I would actually talk to him at family gatherings and actually acknowledge his existence to others. A lot of people in my social circle think that I'm just an aunt to two twins. There will be no calls, no sleepovers, and I won't ask about his life or interests, but I will be happy to hear about them if he wants. I still don't want my sister to have my phone number, and she is still to remain blocked on social media, and if I ever do get married, I told her that she shouldn't expect an invite. I also want to clarify that I did not tell my sister that I would take in her son, so nothing is official. I just decided to step up to the plate if there's no one else. As far as Candy, my brother, his wife, and my parents, and extended family know, I am still refusing. And that is the end of that story.
My sister drained me financially, and she still wanted more.
More. Give me more.
For background, I am the oldest of 3 girls, and I have always felt like I had to take on a lot in my family, especially financially. Growing up, I never really made my sisters pay for anything and covered most things when we were out and about. By the way, this comes from Significant Salt 703. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give good advice goofily. We don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I have played Uber driver essentially my whole life, spending hours moving them into college, driving them to and from places, covering rent deposits, even when I was still in school, paying my own rent, and doing things that generally my parents should have done. From a young age, it felt like this responsibility naturally fell on me, and I accepted it without much question. Fast forward to now, we are all adults in our 20s. I have essentially stopped covering things for my middle sister because she has a full-time job and a master's degree. She gets upset when I do not cover her expenses and nags me for staying with my parents and using them despite how much money I make. I do make about twice her salary, but I have over $160K worth of school loans, and my parents are doing me a huge favor by letting me stay home while I pay them off. Aside from living at home, I'm pretty much financially independent. I should also mention that she also stays at home for the same reason.
So we're like twins.
Everything came to a head when I called her out for her crappy behavior after she got mad at me for asking for a ride from the airport. This was even though, just a few days prior, she had me drop her off at some random party. She acted as if she had done me some huge, elaborate favor that I didn't appreciate her, when I felt like she could have simply said no if she didn't want to help. Not to mention, I do these things for her constantly without complaining or asking for anything in return. The double standard really started to hit me in that moment. We also got into a huge fight about her wanting to use a purse she gave me over 5 years ago for her first day of work, which she never told me about beforehand. She assumed that I knew every detail about her life and was upset that I didn't congratulate her on her new job. Yet she was also mad that my mom told me about it, indicating she never wanted me to know at all. I would have given her the purse back to borrow if she had asked nicely, but instead she came to my face cussing me out and calling me fat, ugly, and selfish for not letting her use it. She even said she never meant to give it to me in the first place, despite it being over half a decade ago.
That's a long time to hold on to such like a petty beef.
Yeah. I was eventually guilted into giving it back, but she continued to blast my very personal life to my family, which crossed a major line for me. She has a foul mouth, and I have warned her before to be more mindful of how she uses her words because they can have consequences. That all happened about 5 months ago, and I've cut her off since, including blocking her on everything. Truthfully, I've never been happier. Staying at home does make things awkward at times, but I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders from not having to be around her constant complaining, nagging, verbal mistreatment, and endless need for favors despite being completely capable herself. I genuinely feel happier in many ways. The peace has been noticeable. Recently, I heard her freaking out about someone eating her snacks and immediately pointing fingers at me. She spent $3 on random chocolates and accused me of eating them, which I definitely did not, which I honestly cannot believe how petty and obnoxious this behavior feels. I proceeded to remove her access from my Amazon account, and she sent me a long paragraph, which my other sister showed me, saying that I was pathetic and had nothing better to do in my free time than make things difficult for her. Mind you, this is my account that I pay for, but allow my entire family to use. I never addressed her message. My sister and I grew up incredibly close, but in the past year, she has changed so much. She is far more verbally aggressive and cusses people out when things do not go her way. She is a few years younger than me, so I understand there may be immaturity involved, but it feels like she has regressed rather than grown. Either that, or her true colors are finally showing. She has also displayed multiple behaviors that make me feel like she is resentful of my success, such as sabotaging my grad gifts by threatening to throw them out and expecting me to continually pay for her just because I make more money. I will say she occasionally gets me a pastry here and there, but it does not even come close to what I have done for her over the years. On top of that, she tracks every nice deed she does and is extremely transactional about it.
Yeah, that's tracking every nice thing you do means that you're not doing nice things. You're
Right.
doing things with the expectation that you'll get something out of it.
Right. You
She's
want
not doing a nice
favor.
thing.
It's a little weird. Meanwhile, I never asked for anything in return, which I recognize is partly my fault because I have bad boundaries. I'm now trying to set those boundaries and am receiving insane backlash from my entire family. I keep hearing, "She's your sister, how could you treat her like that?" Yet no one asks. I am her sister too, so how could she treat me like that? I also realize that a lot of this may sound like small, petty stuff. However, I do not have these issues with my youngest sister, whom I also treat similarly to my middle sister. My youngest sister is simply more self-aware, appreciative, and self-sufficient. I think deep down, part of my hurt comes from the fact that I never really had the cushion of an older sister myself and had to be independent my entire life. Now my middle sister is refusing to come to Thanksgiving dinner if I show up, meaning that I have to decide whether to attend or get blamed forever for her absence. I am just tired of her. But by the way, I'll never be tired of you guys going and listening to more full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. There's just a little bit more. Your sister kind of sucks.
Middle child be middle childing.
It's always the middle children.
Yeah, I think maybe just like make a itemized list of everything you've done for her and be like, you can just pay this back to me over time.
Yeah,
If you
hey,
want.
remember when I paid for your college? Do you want more college debt? I do not see myself making up with her anytime soon. I cannot subject myself to the behavior I was dealing with anymore, especially now that I have additional real-life stressors like my career as a provider in the ICU. I feel pressured by my family to reconcile, but I do not think they understand, including my sister herself, the magnitude of her actions and how deeply they affected me. I have to prioritize my own happiness, and I cannot keep doing this sacrificial stuff because it completely drains me. I think moving out would help, but it is not financially responsible right now. Bottom line, I cut my sister off. My family thinks I'm a knucklehead for it because I'm the oldest daughter, but I feel much happier without her in my life and do not see reconciliation happening anytime soon. Am I the a-hole?
It really doesn't feel like you are.
It really feels just like, hey, can your parents, like, I don't know, do something?
Yeah, can we get a little intermediary going here with
Can we
the
get a little
parental units,
parenting?
perhaps?
Considering you've been parenting them your whole life, maybe they could start.
It would be nice if you had a little bit of a backup instead of everyone. They're mad at you because it's like, well, now it's like if you show up, there's strife, but it's like there's two sides.
Right.
There's two sides to the strife.
Yeah. Do you ever think that maybe she's causing the strife, people?
My sister's boyfriend took my nephew's controller, so I got some petty revenge.
Did you beat him in Mario Kart?
Yes, and there's a trigger warning for mention of mistreatment. This happened a week ago, but my nephew is still losing his mind over it and told me I should post it here for everyone to enjoy as well. So here we go. And by the way, this comes from user Puppy Marrow. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I should preface by saying I only see my nephew every couple months due to him being at his dad's, or me not being able to come up when she has him. Because of that, when I do visit, I try to make the time count. This trip ended up being way more memorable than I expected. I, 33 male, went to visit my sister, 38 female, and my nephew, 13 male, for 2 weeks. My nephew and I are really big gamers, though we are into different games. He loves playing Fortnite with me, while I enjoy things like Overwatch, Warframe, etc. We were playing Fortnite, and he was laughing hysterically because I cannot build quickly at all. I just cannot do it no matter how much he tries to help and teach me. He kept yelling, Uncle, hit this button, and then that, and this, and that, over and over to build a ramp, while laughing his head off. My sister's boyfriend, 39 male, they've been together for about a year, came in and raised his voice about my nephew using his controller. Mind you, it is normally okay, but randomly today it was not. He snatched the controller from my nephew, and the game pretty much ended because we couldn't play together anymore. Weird vibe.
Strange switch up.
Very strange. It's you're supposed to be the adult. You're acting
Right.
like you're also 13. Here's the thing about me. I am not a petty person, but the look in my nephew's eyes hit me hard. I am not a physical altercation person, but I will use my resources to get even. I told my sister I was taking my nephew out for an hour. We went to GameStop, and I bought 2 controllers and then headed back. We started playing again, and the boyfriend threw another fit. I calmly showed him the receipt and told him they were my controllers, not his. The man-child boyfriend then said it was his PS4, so we left again and headed back to GameStop.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
Yes.
That's so funny.
this
guy,
13-year-old's having the day of his life.
yeah, he hit bank.
He just got 2 controllers and a PS4.
Hit the mudload. I bought my nephew a new PS4. We went back and set it up and started playing again. Once again, the man-child had a fit. I showed him the receipts, and then he said it was his TV and his games. At this point, I was annoyed beyond belief because it was not that serious.
Manchild just wants to play PS4 right now.
Yeah, he's just like, I just want to play, but I don't have the emotional maturity to express that in a way that's not entirely abrasive.
And I'm afraid that this little 13-year-old's going to show me up.
Yeah, and also he's not allowed to be better than me.
Yeah, my ego can't handle that.
No, you have to lose on purpose. I did not want to spend this kind of money, but this is my only nephew, and this man was being childish over something so small. I could not just let it go. I pulled my sister aside and told her my nephew and I would be gone early the next morning for half the day. She said it was fine, as I knew she would. The next morning we went to GameStop and I got him a ton of games. I say a ton, but it was about 10, which that's a lot.
That's a lot of games.
2 extra controllers, and a VR setup. Then we went to Walmart, and I got him a 42-inch TV and a TV stand. We brought everything back to my sister's house and set it all up in the den. Later that day, the boyfriend arrived and tried to start something. My lovely sister pointed out that I bought everything and that she pays for the internet. Oh!
Yes.
You're like, sorry, you actually can't play that. It's my internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not allowed. Only single
Should've
player.
thought about that.
Only single player offline games for you, boyfriend. So at this point, boyfriend had nothing left to argue about and couldn't say anything anymore. Y'all, this man-child spent 4 hours sitting in the corner of the living room. 4 hours of full-on scowling. I was loving it because I could see him from where I was sitting. My nephew was completely oblivious, and my sister had to keep hiding her smirk. Why is sister still with this guy if she is also happy that he's upset? And like, why would we stay with someone so childish? He was so mad that his girlfriend's brother spent all this money just to be able to game with his nephew. My sister saw it as him being childish and me making sure my nephew and I could enjoy something we liked together. We spent all day playing Fortnite and having an awesome time. I have never felt so petty, but for F's sake, it felt so good. It was worth every bit of it just to see my nephew happy. No, I still cannot build to save my life. Yes, my sister can build better than I can. And yes, she did game with us while he sat there fuming. She told me if I ever have kids, she'll buy mine the latest and greatest game system when the time comes. We now try to play together every other night. My nephew finally has no one telling him he cannot use his PlayStation or his controllers. He is happier, and honestly, so am I. Gaming together has become our thing now. Questions I was asked in the other community. My sister normally has a boyfriend like this for 1 or 2 years, then finds another one. It is complicated and very much an I can fix him or lost puppy syndrome situation. I did not plan to go as far as I did with what I bought, which is why I did not get a PS5 in the beginning. Everything was pre-owned from GameStop, and the TV was a TLC that cost about $160. A lot of the accessories were me feeding off my nephew's excitement at the store. Seeing how happy he was made it hard to stop. I don't regret it, even if it got a little out of hand. Sometimes joy is worth the price. OP spent probably $500 at least, on all of this stuff.
Opie's the coolest right now, though. That 13-year-old, you're in forever.
Yeah, permanent in status for sure.
Permanent coolness.
And we have an update. I linked this post to my sister because some of you said to show her what was being said. She was pissed that I put her business out there like that, but I told her no one knows who she is unless she comments or tells people. She is completely anonymous. She called me early this morning, breaking down and crying, saying y'all were a-holes for the words you said, but in a good way. Maybe in a way where she saw the light.
Yeah, I think it's a wake-up call way.
Yeah, and I want to give you a wake-up call. That you can listen to full episodes of stories like this whenever you want on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. And there's a little bit left of this story. I think maybe we need to talk to sister about the kind of guys she's dating.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're already aware of that.
And why they're beefing with your child.
Yeah, you can't be dating a guy who's got beef with your actual child. My sister is realizing that the men she chooses are nothing but harmful tools. Oh, yeah!
We got there!
Yay!
Go Reddit!
Therapy starts in 3 weeks, and the boyfriend is being broken up with today.
Yay!
She apologized to me, but I told her to apologize to her son, and she will be. Reddit is known for its trolling and effery, but y'all did it. You helped her understand that she's causing her own problems and that she needs to be working on being better. Thank you from a little brother who loves his big sister and has tried for years to get her to understand. Thank you from an uncle who wants the best for his nephew. Also, my nephew's dad is going to help her find a good man who will love and care for them both when the time comes. And that's the end of that story. That's intense.
It's a weird final statement.
That's so your sister's ex-husband is going to help find her a new man.
Yes.
It sounds like a Hallmark movie plot where they just end up getting back together anyway.
1000%. My boyfriend stormed out on my birthday just because I asked for coffee.
Babe, I'm exclusively hojicha, okay?
We have a trigger warning for emotional. My boyfriend, 36 male, and I have been dating a little over a year, and I honestly don't know what to think anymore. For some context, last year on this exact day, 29th birthday, I was blindsided with news that I unfairly and unexpectedly failed a clinical rotation in my doctorate program, Pediatric Acute Care Nurse Practitioner program. They failed me 8 months before graduation, and the program is 4 years total. I would have graduated in May. I spent the last year grieving that, severe depression, and just last month, I finally got to re-enter the class. By the way, this comes from Deleted, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I am now working with a lawyer and spending thousands of dollars because the same mentor and professor tried to dismiss me unfairly again during the first week of classes. After a year of waiting to retake this class, as it is only offered once a year in June. Just yesterday, the lawyer asked me for a time-sensitive document and also has asked for one today on my birthday. He came over unexpectedly last night, even though I told him I had a lot to do and I barely slept. This morning, I was tired, low energy, and emotionally drained, not mean or trying to pick a fight. I asked what we should do today. Our only plan was an 8 p.m. dinner with my family. He just said, well, what do you want to do? I got frustrated. I've been carrying so much lately, I was hoping he'd just set up, make a plan, or even grab a coffee or breakfast to start the day. I took a shower, got ready, etc. About an hour's worth of time, and I thought when I went downstairs around 10:30 a.m., he would have a coffee waiting for me, since I expressed I wanted one. Well, I went downstairs and he was sitting on the couch with a grim look on his face. I said, you didn't get coffee or anything? He got defensive and said I was being ungrateful. He ended up storming out, telling me I ruined my own birthday and that I should sit with the consequences of how I acted. He left around 11:30 a.m. and hasn't contacted me once. We have a dinner reservation tomorrow with some of our friends, but he already told me we'd go for the sake of guests, not to celebrate me. Now it's 6 p.m. I still haven't heard from him. I need to write another legal document for my lawyer since today is the last day of the semester. And I'm under intense pressure to get it written ASAP. My boyfriend knows all of this. I'm so depressed and overwhelmed that I can't move. I don't even want to go to dinner with my family anymore. He says I never take accountability. He says I make everything about me. But I didn't scream at him. I didn't insult him. I just expressed disappointment and hoped to feel special after the last year on my birthday. I also want to mention once he started yelling at me and insisting that I said he does nothing for me, which I know I did not, and telling me I owe him an apology and I need to take accountability. I lost it. He knows I am not okay and all the pressure I'm under and is acting this way on my birthday. I started yelling back and crying and slammed my bedroom door. That's when he left and said F you.
Honestly, this is so cartoonish. It almost sounds like this guy just doesn't know how to break up with somebody, and he's instead just being as bad as possible to make you do it for him.
Yeah. I said, you're really doing this on my birthday? You know I was failed unexpectedly last year on my exact birthday and wanted to reclaim that. He said he didn't care and I should think about my behavior and that they have consequences.
Ay, ay, ay.
One more edit. His dad and I share the same birthday. He's very enmeshed with his family, which I usually don't mind since we live an hour apart and don't get to see each other daily. Before my birthday, he brought up using a hotel suite we had won during a Halloween contest to celebrate with his dad on Friday, my actual birthday. The hotel is meaningful to his parents because they spent part of their honeymoon there. He said we could celebrate my birthday the next day instead.
Dude,
Also,
that's
yeah.
What?
People like celebrating their birthdays on their birthdays usually. Also, his parents don't like me because they think I'm unreliable and unserious. My unexpected clinical failure. And my parents don't like him. as they are around a lot when he acts like this and see me crying on the phone and anxious, etc. When I should be focused on school. So me celebrating with his family on Friday was not an option. I was a little disappointed. It was my 30th, and I'd hoped he'd want to spend the actual day with me, or at least part of it. But when I said that, he flipped out and called me selfish and yelled at me. I was already so emotionally drained from everything going on with school and the lawyer that I just told him that it was fine. I even sent him screenshots of my mom telling me it wasn't a big deal and to let him celebrate with his family, just so he'd calm down and stop attacking me. Later, I found out his sister and her boyfriend were in Greece, so his family wasn't even celebrating that day, and expected me to just assume he can come to dinner with my family and I. This left a bad taste in my mouth and ruined the excitement around my birthday. Is this on me? Or is he emotionally harmful and unsafe? We have an update from the same day still. I don't like your boyfriend.
I don't like your boyfriend. You should break up with him. No one should be yelling at you on your birthday. Yelling at you on your
Yeah.
birthday,
Unless if they're
immediate
yelling-
breakup.
Also,
All
if
you
you're
want-
yelling happy birthday.
Update. It's 8 p.m. and he knows I had a reservation at this time for my birthday dinner, but he had my location and sees I'm home. After ignoring me all day, he said, I hope your call with the lawyer was productive and you have a nice birthday dinner with your family. He also FaceTimed me multiple times, but I will not be responding.
Just the absolute gall of that guy to think he can just call you and be like, it's fine. Have a good
Yeah.
birthday. Have a whatever. It's fine.
Insane. Update 2. Went to dinner and trying to finish note on my phone as my parents were having a meltdown about me missing my birthday dinner 2 years in a row now, and also know my boyfriend does this during holidays and big events, and refused to allow him to ruin my birthday after this past year.
Wait, so he always has done this? It's always, anytime it's
Well,
a big event, he's
yeah.
always going crazy?
He didn't ruin the birthday last year, but he's ruined other holidays and stuff.
What
And
a
they've only been dating for
loser.
like a year, right?
What a dork.
Wasn't it only like a year?
Not long enough to not break up with him immediately.
Yeah. But you know what you should do immediately? Go listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast. Search up OK Storytime. We got another update, though.
He had to break up with this guy the first time he ruined something. Yeah, or the second. First time you maybe write it off. Okay, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed today.
Yeah.
However, multiple times, over and over and over again. Why? What are we doing? You're not going to fix him. You're not supposed to fix him.
Update 3. He found the Reddit post. And of course is saying my recall of events are inaccurate. And that I was in fact the one who ruined my birthday. And he has no part in ruining my birthday.
Yeah, of course not. Of course he doesn't.
Comment 1. This reads like a 20-year-old wrote it, not a 30-year-old. I think you have too much crap on your plate for distractions. And clearly your boyfriend is a distraction because here you are on Reddit thinking about your relationship instead of getting crap done that you need to do. If a relationship is draining your energy, then it's time to cut ties. Stay in relationships that boost your energy, fuel your goals, and make you want to take on the day. Ones like this, they have you on Reddit instead of doing your duties, will never serve you, and will never get you to where you want to be. You're too old and have too much on your plate to even be thinking about this lame drama. You're losing sight of the big picture, which is your professional future. Break up, buckle down with this lawyer, pass the class, get your career sorted out, then start thinking about dating. Commenter 2, sorting out your schooling will change your life. This guy seems hell-bent on ruining it. Focus on the important one and let the other go. Opie says, yep. My dad has said that from the start, that this guy is here to make sure I will not pass school and be dependent on him so he can control me. Although my boyfriend puts me down a lot about school and says our relationship suffers because of this, and he said my life is bleeding into his because I can't hang out as often or do fun things. Commenter replies, why have you not listened to your parents so far? Opie says, that's a very good question. Logically, I know they're right, but I think years worth of this type of from dating similar partners has altered the chemistry of my brain, honestly, and I guess I think I deserve this type of treatment. My parents truly weren't self-absorbed or harmful, so I do think it's from dating so many men that have been emotionally harmful towards me.
That is true. Once you get used to something, you just think that's the way it is.
Yeah. Once school is settled, I'll be working with my therapist to try to resolve this. That's the end of that story.
Well, I hope you have very productive therapy sessions.
I
Sounds
hope
like
so,
you have a lot
too.
of insight into your own
Yeah.
ways of being.
And I hope you have a great 31st birthday.
My girlfriend wanted a secret phone for privacy, so I walked away.
Girl, what you hiding?
Me, 26 male, and my girlfriend, 25 female, have been together for 10 months. She already has a phone that works fine. I helped pay for it, and recently she told me she wants a second phone just for personal use and thinks I should buy it for her as her upcoming birthday gift. By the way, this comes from Lazy Excuse 3694, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I asked what she means by personal use, and she got vague. She said it's just not something she wants on her main phone. Corn? What's going on there? Corn? Huh? She also said it's about privacy, and that I should trust her. I'm sorry. Unless
No,
she's a
immediately.
freaking secret agent. Why does she have a second phone?
Yeah, I mean, like, I get people have work phones, but, like,
Yeah.
usually work gives that to you. You don't get, like, a private
You don't
personal
buy your own phone.
Now I have two. One for my normal use and one to
My
Dude.
abnormal use.
one for abnormal use.
I told her I wasn't comfortable paying for another phone without a clear reason. She got upset and said I was being controlling and turning money into a power thing. That wasn't my intention. I just don't want to feel like I'm being used or ignoring my gut. I don't know what I should do now. Please give me suggestions. And edit. As far as I know, she hasn't used any substances or shown any interest in buying or selling them. That is another good guess. But what do you think? Do you
Oh,
think
what-
OP's the a-hole for calling her out for her?
No, not at all. No, this is very sketchy. She's not being, like, trustworthy, and she very much is, like, I don't know. If my partner came up to me and was like, hey, like, I want to get another phone, you're going to pay for it, and also it's just for my own personal use, and I need it for privacy, so you can never look at it.
Yeah, don't look at my phone, please.
I'd be like,
That's
"No."
weird.
It's
That's
like,
suspicious.
Yeah.
hey, so I'm gonna go blatantly, openly make out with that girl over there. You're gonna be cool with it. You're gonna buy her drinks. You're gonna buy her food.
Yeah.
You're not gonna look though. I'm telling you, you're not gonna look, and we're gonna be cool about it.
Yeah, everyone likes this. We're good.
I guess it's crazy.
Comments from Swagos says 2 phones plus sketchy vagueness equals relationship kaput. When she oddly volunteers, it's not about cheating and tells you you're being controlling. It's about cheating.
Yep. They
OP
literally tell it
says-
to you.
Yeah, yeah. OP says, I think I'm dating the wrong person. I was so desperate to not be single. I'm sorry. This is so sad. I ignore the red flags.
Oh,
I'm sorry, OP.
okay. Yeah.
I feel bad now. Update 1 day later. Hey guys, today has been a long day. I barely slept last night thinking of how stupid I was ignoring the red flags and trusting our words this whole time. I kept replaying everything in my head and reading through your comments. The more I thought about it, the more I realized if I didn't end it now, I'd just talked myself into staying and slowly let this whole dynamic get worse. I could already feel myself starting to rationalize it, and I didn't like that. So I got up early, made a couple strong cups of coffee, and called her since we don't live together. I asked if she wanted to meet at a local park after I got off work. It's a busy park, lots of people around. She agreed right away. It wasn't unusual for us to meet there, especially since it's been weirdly warm for February. I worked from home today, and it was a blur. I did the bare minimum, couldn't focus, and as soon as I was done, I called to confirm, and within about 30 minutes, we were there. At first, I kept it light. We walked a bit, I joked around, got her laughing, warmed her up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready to strike.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we sat down on a bench and told her we needed to talk. I explained how the whole second phone thing made me feel manipulated. I told her I already felt pressured helping pay for the first phone, and now being expected to buy another one for personal use with no clear explanation didn't sit right with me. I need 2 phones. Don't ask why.
Yeah.
Buy them. Please. She was quiet for a minute. Then she said it was a big misunderstanding and
Of
that she
course
was
it
joking
was.
about the second phone. Oh,
What?
new tactic. New
That was a
tactic. Walk it back.
joke.
It was a joke.
But
What
if
do
you wanted
mean?
to do it, though, I wouldn't be mad.
If you said yes, I'd let it happen. But if you thought it was weird, then it was a joke.
Right? We're on the same page here.
That didn't make sense to me. So I asked her why she doubled down about privacy, trust, and accused me of using money as power if it was just a joke. She couldn't really answer that. It was just more vague stuff. That was kind of it for me. I told her I'd had enough and that I wanted to break up. She tried to kiss me after I said it, like that would smooth it over.
What?
I stepped
If someone
back.
said, "Oh, I'm breaking up with you," I would not go in for the kiss.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. I'd be like, okay.
What's going on here?
Except I've never been broken up with.
Ooh. That's
Sorry.
cool.
Sorry, I'm the mean girl in it.
I wasn't going to let it turn into some emotional back and forth. I said I was done and started walking to my car. She walked off towards hers. I got in mine and left. It sucked. I'm not going to pretend it didn't. But honestly, as soon as I drove away, I felt this weird mix of sadness and relief. I don't want to be in a relationship where my gut is constantly telling me something's off and I'm being told I'm controlling for asking basic questions. Anyway, that's the update. Appreciate the straight talk from you guys. Sometimes you need an outside perspective to see what you're ignoring. Also, I just want to clarify that we only had each other's phone and social media passwords because she strongly wanted it and offered me hers to convince me. I don't even know if the passwords were real because I'd never once snooped on her. Changed my passwords this morning before work, so I'm not worried about that. Lil Sparrow, 18, says, "Sounds like you handled this extremely well. I know I would have struggled, especially if I had loved this person. So I really admire that you just went and did it after getting outside perspective. Open communication is the best kind of trust, in my opinion. And she wasn't doing that at all. You'll continue to feel happier after this adjustment period for sure." And OP says, "I will definitely continue to ground myself and stay positive for the future. What is something that helped you feel happier? And I know what will make you feel happier if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime." There's a little bit left to the story. Any final thoughts?
I mean, you did it, OP. You
You
got out
did
of
it.
there. She was
Yeah.
sketchy.
Yeah,
She was
really
weird.
was.
And also the fact that, like, she really couldn't answer. And she just
Yeah.
answered with more vagueness. It's like, okay, so you just want to keep your options open. That's fine. But don't expect me to sit here
No.
and just wait and be like, oh, yeah, hope you have a good time with whoever you're, seeing besides me. Because
Yeah.
that's what you're doing.
And OP finishes off, "I like to cook, play chess, watch comedy movies, and hang out with my friends. It really makes me grateful and thankful that there are many people in my life that love and support me. Just curious, asking commenters, what are your hobbies? I'm always looking to add and experiment new things. I like rock climbing.
I think rock climbing too.
I think it's pretty cool.
Or even learning instruments.
Instruments are pretty cool too. I've also heard mahjong is on the rise.
I do like mahjong.
I've never played, but my boyfriend said we should play.
I used to play. I've never played it in real life. I've always just played it on my phone.
We played
I
it in
I
fake
loved it.
life.
Played it in fake life.
You know.
Call me a faker.
But that's the end of that story, folks. My boyfriend gave me an ultimatum the night before Valentine's Day. I chose myself. Yes! Yes! My boyfriend, 29 male, and I, 30 female, recently reconnected after being broken up for a few months. The breakup involved a lot of insecurity and trust issues on his end, and me not being able to get over his initial lying about small things. But I have never cheated on him or given him a reason to distrust me. By the way, this comes from Otherwise Candy 7070, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. Gandopi says, "We've only been talking again for about a week. I already had a 5-week work trip planned to Texas and California before we reconnected. This trip is important for my career and has been planned for months. Part of the trip includes 3 days in LA with a close friend. We plan to go out to restaurants and possibly some nightlife. Ooh. He says I have no business going to nightclubs and doesn't like the idea of me being in that environment. I told him I can't realistically ask my friend to go out alone while I sit in a hotel room for 3 days, especially when this trip was planned long before we got back together. He's extremely uncomfortable with me going. That sucks for him, because he says we haven't rebuilt enough trust yet. But you didn't do anything wrong. What
This
trust
is
are you
so
rebuilding?
dumb. Sorry, but I can't with this man. Like, The fact that it's just like, well, I don't feel well, you weren't here when I made the plans, and also, I don't care.
Yeah, also doesn't really matter.
And another thing, you're not going to be there, so guess what? Even if I'll say that I'm not going to do it, but I'll do it anyway. Is that better?
And we won't be together. He asked me to share my location for the entire 5 weeks. I hesitated because last time I traveled, he spiraled and accused me of things, and it turned into hours of fighting. I told him I was afraid it would become a disaster again if he monitored me while I was out with friends. He took that as me being sketchy and said I'm not giving him what he needs. He said if roles were reversed, he would cancel everything for me. He also said I have the power to cancel the trip, but I'm choosing not to. For context, I've been very supportive this past week. I cooked for him, helped him while he was sick, cleaned his place, etc. He came to my house with flowers and chocolates and made a reservation at a really hard-to-get restaurant for Valentine's Day. Tonight, the day before Valentine's Day, he said his gut tells him I'm not the girl for him because I won't cancel or fully accommodate what he needs to feel secure. I got overwhelmed and told him I can't keep doing the hot and cold dynamic. I blocked him. Now, I'm wondering if I overreacted or if it was reasonable to block someone who said I'm not the girl for him right before Valentine's Day. And edit, I also ended up agreeing to sharing locations, and he said it doesn't count or matter now after my comment saying it would be a disaster and that I'm still going to be coming home at 5 a.m. And there is an update, folks. But what do you think?
Just seems like nothing really changed, and it's just going to be the same thing over and over again. Been there, done that. I can't. I have no patience for this.
No, and you also already blocked him, so let's just stay there.
Yeah, he obviously has issues, and he hasn't worked on them, and he's not going to because he doesn't feel the need to. He doesn't feel like it's a big issue, which is fine. But the thing is, I do, so you can't have both.
Yeah. And also, he already basically broke up with you. He said you're not the girl for him, so let him find another girl.
Yeah.
But we had an update. I really appreciate all the comments, and it's making me feel better to know that I'm not a bad person for wanting to do normal things. I also should have clarified that we're actually not back together. He showed up at my house one day on his knees, telling me he would never get on his knees for anyone. But he'd do it for me, and that he will spend the rest of his life trying to make up for his mistakes. He seemed sincere and vulnerable, and I am known to be too forgiving and think people can change, which has obviously cost me a lot of pain. So in this time, he was supposed to show me that I could trust him and that it could be a safe and healthy space. At first, he was okay with it, although he cried to me about it and said it scared him because we haven't built anything substantial again, and what's to stop me if I meet someone and click with them? He also told me before that he was always scared to approach me because he felt I was way out of his league, which obviously created a lot of insecurity, and I can also be dragged into toxicity myself, which I've gone to therapy for and been put on meds for my own emotional regulation. He said I misled him by saying this was a work trip, when in reality I'll be on vacation for those 3 days. His mom spoke to me and said he's had it hard with girls in the past, being cheated on when he was engaged, and the last girl also cheating and whatnot, and that he needs a lot of therapy because he projects that onto me. Why is his mom talking to you?
I hate all of this.
His mom is like, hello, I'm just calling you to tell you that you gotta be nicer to him. He's delicate.
I know he's trying to make you feel bad, but I just figured I would put my 2 cents in and also make you feel bad because you should be treating him like he is the prince of this world.
But we got more. I basically asked him if it would even make a difference if I didn't go out at night, and he said no, that at this point I either cancel my trip or lose his number. He also said that what I'm doing there for work is not that great, and that I have a business here, and that I should just focus on that instead of this extra work that I'm trying to make money from, because I explained that I have so many bills and it's been stressful for me lately. Of course, he does have great qualities, otherwise this would be a no-brainer. He's extremely thoughtful and kind to me, supportive, loyal, and affectionate. Everything you'd want in someone until he feels hurt or wronged, and then it all goes out the window. It's sad and it sucks, but I know I'm doing the right thing and refuse to drop my life because he wants to dictate when I don't even know if it's going to work in the long term. And then I'll beat myself up for not taking this opportunity to make money. I also can't let my friend down, who put in a good word for me to come, and the bosses expect me there. When we spoke today, he was nasty and arrogant, and I know he's not going to be sorry for a long time because he actually thinks he's in the right. He told me all his reasonable friends agree with him, that they wouldn't want their girl across the country for 5 weeks as is, but especially not if I'm going to be partying in LA for 3 days, which I of course plan on having a night out, but I'm a loyal person, and I told him he can FaceTime me at any point, and I'll answer and update him, and just pretty much do whatever he needs to make him feel comfortable. That's too much.
I wouldn't even promise that.
It's too
I'd be
much.
Like, I'm out with my friends. I'm gonna have fun. Trust me that just, I'm gonna if I don't get home safe, then you can worry.
Yes,
But other
exactly.
than that, I'm gonna go have fun with my friends. Bye.
Yeah, I think it is reasonable to say, hey, like, can you call me, like,
On the
or
way
like
home,
text me every day? Yeah, just like that. Just like a check-in.
I don't even do that.
I mean, I don't do the like always the check-in when at home, but like when I was traveling for a month, I was calling or texting my boyfriend like every day.
Well, yeah, which is fine.
which
I
is
feel like
fine, but
that's-
this
that's
is too
good.
much. Comment 1. This isn't a relationship, it's a humiliation ritual. Girl, why are you cleaning this grown man's house and letting him dictate where you can and can't be? Cut the cord already. This is embarrassing. OP says, literally, I question myself a lot too, trust me. And you're right, it is embarrassing for me. And update 2. I know a lot of you understandably have questions about why I would even consider giving him access for a second time. He seemed sincere when he acknowledged his mistakes, and he seemed angry and disappointed at himself. He showed me he had been going to therapy and gave me his therapist's name and his scheduled appointments. I think that he maybe had good intentions, but doesn't have the tools or the emotional intelligence or capacity to control his emotions yet. I know he knows there's something wrong. I don't think he knows how to fix it. However, I also know that I can't wait around until he gets better, if he ever does. His volatility is too much, and I see that clearly now. I am no longer in contact with him, and I will be leaving on my trip tomorrow night. I was never going to let him get in the way of that. I just expected a more mature response, but he is lacking and failed terribly. By the way, it would only be a failure if you didn't listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I mean, I just hate this man. He's just not in the right space for a relationship.
Yeah, and
He
you already
doesn't know
knew
when-
that.
Yeah. Like, he's just trying to control every single thing you do, and that's so exhausting. Because then it also
Absolutely.
makes you question yourself, like, oh, wait, am I not doing things right that this is just common sense, right?
I feel like it's a bit like when you go to the airport and they do like a bomb check on you and you're like, oh my God, did I bring a bomb?
It's gaslighting.
You know, it's like they're like, sorry, we just need to like check you for weapons. And you're like, oh my God, I have every weapon I've never bought on me. It sucks for him because I'm a very forgiving person, but he crossed a line now that can't be reversed, and I just don't see him the same. So thank you everyone for the tough love and the kind words. It helped and it soothed my anxiety. As of now, my feelings are more anger than sadness, and I'm trying to keep it that way. And to be honest, I'm happy for myself that I don't really give an F about his feelings at the moment. Maybe this will teach him a lesson for the next person. Am I the a-hole? And that's the end of that story.
No, I don't think you're the a-hole.
No, you're the a-hole to yourself for getting back, almost getting back with this guy. We should have made that first break, a breakup.
Caught my girlfriend cheating and it ruined her life.
How'd that happen?
And this is directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit. This is one of our own here. This happened over 15 years ago. We're both 38 now. She was an old high school crush. We reconnected in our early 20s, despite running in different circles. I was into festivals, she was into clubs. We dated for about a year, and I got really close with her little brother. By the way, this comes from BJH602, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit, and I'm Angie.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in the situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. So OP says, one night I went to meet her at a club where she was already hanging out with friends. I linked up with her brother and we headed in, only to see her sitting on her coworker's lap, chatting casually with everyone like it was nothing. Her brother looked shocked. We walked up and she went pale, and I just casually asked how everyone was doing, pretending I didn't notice. She brushed it off as normal. I think she'd been flirting with his coworker. Let's call him Dean because he's a total wiener at work.
What is
but
that?
I don't know how Dean goes into that.
Like,
Just another D word?
the only thing I can think of is like Gilmore Girls, because Dean
Oh,
sucked.
okay.
I
That's
don't know,
probably
but
why.
your shirt right now is making quite a good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
But that night was the first time that she actually crossed the line and did something physical. When I left the club, I casually walked out like nothing was wrong, but deep down, I knew it was over right then and there. I told them that I was heading to a house party elsewhere, and her brother came with me, apologizing for her the whole way. The party turned out to be at this girl's place, who is female, 35 now. She was 18 back then. Someone I had flirted with and run into at festivals over the past year or so. We hit it off while her brother hung out and had fun. About an hour later, my girlfriend showed up out of nowhere. I still don't know how she tracked us down. She apologized, acted normal, and tried to get me to go back to my place with her. I declined. She even asked to crash in the host's bed to lure me in, but I said no. I told her brother to drive her home and let him know that I was done. I didn't trust her anymore, and we were over. On her way out, I stayed polite while he told her that she had messed up big time. That night, I hooked up with the host, in her
Whoa.
bedroom.
Whoa.
The exact same one that my girlfriend had been trying to drag me into just minutes earlier.
Wait.
With the door open and people
What?
all around the house while the party raged on.
I'm sorry. What just happened?
What?
Wait.
Oh my gosh.
Can you
Okay,
catch me? Like,
yeah,
I
recap.
literally am so confused. So much just
Recap.
happened.
So, they're at a girl's birthday party
Yeah.
now. This is after he saw her at the club with her on boss's lap, okay?
So right now, all he knows is that she sat on someone's lap.
I guess so. But he still was like, that's over. And so she, I think, was like apologizing and then trying to seduce him into the party girl's bedroom to hook up at this party. And then he was like, no, brother, take her home. I'm done. And then he went back to the party, hooked up with the birthday girl in that bedroom. Doors open, party going on.
OP.
Crazy that
I
the
know
doors
that
are open.
You're one of our own.
Yeah.
Not a great move. Pretty bad move. If you're still calling her your girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
You're
Well, I mean, he said that
cheating.
we're done.
Yeah, but he still called. He didn't say my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
If y'all aren't actually done,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, also just, it's not even, if you are done and you have broken up, still not a classy move.
For sure. For sure.
I gotta give it to you straight, OP.
Yeah. I'm just like, there's a lot of layers there, but the one that I'm stuck on is that you
Left the door open.
You hooked up with the door open
Yeah.
and people
that's-
all around.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's so wild to me.
Yeah.
But even her brother came back after dropping her off and joined in the vibe.
What?
I'm guessing
What do you
in the
mean?
party vibe.
Okay.
And not that vibe.
What?
Yikes. I didn't talk to my ex for about 5 years after that. I started dating the host, and that lasted about 9 months. She ended up with Dean a few months later. From what I heard, Dean was a heavy drinker who treated her like garbage. Yikes. He basically moved himself into her house and had this gross habit of peeing in the corner of her bedroom when he was too wasted to make it to the bathroom.
Why do you know this? How do you know this? Why
That's
would anyone
crazy.
ever share this information?
I mean, that's like the kind of rumor that would, I think, go around.
But
It's
yeah,
just
but
like,
like-
can you believe this happened?
but who
wild.
is she telling? Unless you're
Good
breaking
question.
up with the guy, I would never tell anyone.
Yeah.
I would keep that to myself unless I broke up, and then I'd be like, "Oh my god, you will not believe this crazy thing."
Dude, that's wild. I
Yeah.
had
So
no
okay,
idea.
so she seems like she cheated. He breaks up with her.
Yep.
I guess that was a little unclear to me.
Yeah.
And then he immediately hooks up with someone else.
Yep. Dates her for 9 months. And then I guess
Okay.
she got with the boss man.
OP,
the lap man.
it seems like you are reeling in this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. They stayed together long enough to have 2 kids.
Dang.
What? This is a wild story. He barely lifted a finger for them and didn't provide any financial support. She finally left him and had to sell her house to get away. Now she's with a great new partner who's stepped up as a dad to her other 2 kids in every way, and they've had 2 more together. Now, Dean, totally irresponsible man. He has 0 to do with her or the kids. By the way, you could have everything to do with us by listening to full episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. And there is a little bit more to the story, but wowie zowie.
I don't even know what advice to give you
Yeah,
because it seems like it's been 5 years.
it's been more than that.
Yeah. I guess it seems like you didn't cheat on her because it seems like you did
Yeah.
break up.
Yeah.
That was a little unclear to me.
Yeah.
So you're in the clear there. I would just say, like, in the future, if we ever have messy breakups like this, don't immediately hook up with someone else at a
Yeah.
party. It's just not healthy. It's not a healthy way to process. But like,
Definitely
seems
not.
like you probably know that now.
Yeah. All of the people in this story are just like wackadoodle.
The wacky doodle.
Like, all the love to you, OP.
Yeah.
Especially since you're one of our own. That
Yeah.
makes you special.
It makes you special.
But
And also,
this is
yeah.
wild story.
I hope 5 years later, I hope we are in more like stable part of our life.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Oh yeah, no, this was like
Yeah.
years
This is years ago.
Yeah.
So you're probably
OP's
doing way
38
better.
now.
Yeah, you're probably doing way better now.
Yeah, hopefully. There's a little bit more to the story. Recently, her brother told me that she only got with Dean and stuck it out because I moved on the same night. She wanted to, quote, prove that it was worth it and show that she had it better than me.
Well, she sucks.
Yeah. I do feel bad about how it ended. There was no direct communication from me, just ghosting through her brother for years. There was no drama or fighting, and if we run into each other now, we chat like old friends. But knowing she went through all that heck with Dean, partly because how I handled it, it eats at me. Was my lack of closure the spark? I just needed to vent this, and there is no more to that story. But I don't know. I don't think you have to feel guilty about it.
No, I don't think you need to feel guilty about anything that happened with your ex-girlfriend because
Yeah.
she cheated on you.
Yeah.
However, I think it just going forward, knowing that that was not a healthy way to handle that situation is going to benefit you.
Yeah, I think it's
So
more
that you don't make that mistake.
Yeah, I think your actions just mostly affected you. I think, because she saw that and made those choices because of that, that's all her choice. Like,
Yeah.
she did not have to react that way at all. So
No.
I don't think that you have to feel bad about
No.
that at all. It's more of just like, we want you to change for your own sake.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm sure you have, though.
Yeah,
I
it's been
mean,
5 years.
yeah.
Like
That was
that was that.
that. I do wonder because this happened over 15 years ago. So I hope that
Wait, this happened 15 years ago? I
Yeah,
thought it was
yeah.
5.
no, because it started out when OP was like 21,
Oh.
and now OP's 38, and so there we got like 5
Dang.
years
Oh, yeah,
ahead
you-
in this
you've-
story.
Yeah,
but
you've
it
got
took
to be
place.
good now.
Yeah, you've got to be.
Got to be good.
If you've got an update for that,
Yeah,
let us know
let
because
us know.
I'm hope that you're
hope
doing
you're
well.
good.
If it's still eating at you, I'm sorry. I don't think it needs to.
I agree.
Yeah,
I don't think it. Yeah.
yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think when you're young, you often handle things like this poorly,
Yeah.
and it's just something to learn from,
yeah.
which
That's
I
all.
think you have.
I'm
so.
sure. Yeah.
But that's the end of that story.
yes, it is.
And my ex dumps me, but still expected me to drive her across states?
No, don't drive her anywhere.
Prior to breaking up last Wednesday, my girlfriend, 23 female, and I, 27 male, had been together for just over 3 years. Up until this past August, she lived in Georgia, about 2 hours away from where I was living in South Carolina. In August, she moved up to New York for graduate school, and in order to be closer to her, I found a job and moved to DC. By the way, this comes from Throwaway88, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And things had been a bit rough in the months leading up to August, and the stress of moving and starting grad school and a new job certainly didn't help. Given the rough few months we had had, she was left questioning whether or not she still wanted to be in a relationship with me. She voiced her uncertainty to me on the phone last Monday and expressed to me that she had a strong desire to go out and have some experiences with other men, to go on dates and see what else was out there. I told her this wasn't at all what I wanted, that I wanted to work through these hard times together. She responded by saying if she didn't go out and have these experiences, even if things improved, she would always regret it. And that's where we left things. When we spoke the next day, she had decided she wanted to come down to South Carolina and spend a few days with me for Thanksgiving break before returning home to visit her family. There was one catch, though. On Friday the 17th, I'm driving from DC to South Carolina on the 16th for my birthday and Thanksgiving break. I was going to have to drive 2 hours from home in South Carolina to pick her up from the airport in North Carolina and then 2 hours back.
Y'all don't have an airport in South Carolina?
She can't get a taxi?
2 hours. That would be really expensive.
Oh, driving her back to,
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
okay,
going
okay,
to pick
okay.
her up and so she can hang out.
got you. The following Monday, I would have to drive her 2 hours from home to take her to Georgia to be with her family and 2 hours back.
I don't know. All I'd say is, you want to go find new men? Find one of your new men to drive you or pick you up. Either way, I'm oof.
So he's
I
like,
wouldn't drive 4 hours for someone who wasn't sure about our relationship. Then Sunday after Thanksgiving, I'd have to go 2 hours out of my way and pick her back up in Georgia, and then have her ride with me all the way back to DC, where she would fly out of New York. No. At this point, I voiced my confusion given the conversation from the previous day.
he's like, do you remember that conversation yesterday when we broke up?
Yeah. She's like, what are you talking about? She's like, now that,
That was
I need a
before I
ride.
needed a ride.
Yeah. She said she thought one positive experience together could really turn things around and that she wanted to give it a shot. She had the flight up and ready to book, and there was only one seat left. So despite my voicing my desire to talk things out first, she went ahead and booked it. The next day, I tried to talk to her about her desire to date other men and about how we could improve our relationship and work through the rough times we had been having. And it ultimately led to her breaking up with me. Okay. Since then, we haven't had all that much communication. She has ignored most of my texts and the one she has responded to. She's been rather rude and mean. I pointed this out, and her response was, "It's unreasonable of you to expect us to be friendly right now. It's too soon," which honestly, I understand. She's right. Then she texted me and told me that she still needs me to pick her up and take her home, and that she still needs a ride with me back to DC.
Ooh, honey, that's
Ha.
too soon.
Oh, it's too soon. That's so funny.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
She
To
broke up with
expect that
you.
Still.
She broke up with you, and then she's like, "You're still gonna drive me like 8 hours, right?"
Right. You're going to go out of your way during your trip home, right?
No, I don't think I am. She doesn't have the money to change her flight, and she doesn't have anyone else to pick her up.
Sucks to suck.
Aw. I told her I didn't feel I owed her that, as she broke up with me. She pointed out that I had committed to coming. No, he didn't.
He literally had
He
it.
literally
You were
had
literally
it.
Like, maybe you shouldn't do this.
Which I most certainly had. I asked her if I was willing to come, if she would be able to set aside her anger for a few hours and be friendly, and she said she would do her best to be cordial, but being friendly was too much to ask.
Then no. Why am I
No.
going to pick you up in misery
No, read the next
for
sentence. I need you to
4
read
She
that.
said she would
hours?
sit in the back and work the whole ride. So you're her free Uber. No.
Not at all. Do not do that.
My question is, do I still owe it to her to go and pick her up? No. Would it be selfish of me to tell her she needed to work this out on her own? No. I really don't want to leave her stranded, but I don't feel this is really my responsibility anymore. What do I do here? You say no, we're broken up. Sorry, figure it out.
Sorry. Remember
Literally,
when you dumped
that's
me?
it.
Again,
Yeah.
like I said, use that excuse of, maybe this is the perfect time for you
Yep.
to find some other boys you want to talk to.
Yep.
You can do that. Bye-bye.
If she didn't have the money to go get some sort of travel, then she shouldn't be traveling.
Right.
Or,
She
travel
shouldn't have booked
accommodations.
the flight in the first place.
Yeah.
Find cheaper travel if you need to.
Yep.
Tell her to take the train if you
Yeah.
guys have one.
Take a bus. Figure it out.
bus.
It's not OP's problem. Relevant comments. Cannibal One says, don't drive her. She can get an Uber or Lyft. She broke up with you and doesn't want to get back together. She's saying things like, this experience might bring me back to you, might make our relationship better. And that's a manipulation tactic to get you to drive her. Don't fall for it. And we got an update. So we're going to get into it. To those of you that have said I'm being a doormat, you're 100% correct. And I have been for, pretty much our entire relationship. I try my best to be kind to people regardless of how they treat me. But at some point, you have to have a little self-respect. Anyhow, I had pretty much decided not to pick her up prior to seeing all of your replies, and reading through them has solidified my decision. I just texted her saying, given the fact that you just broke up with me and that in your own words, it's too early to expect to be friendly with one another, I'm not okay with coming to pick you up on Friday or taking you to DC on Sunday. Sitting in a car with you for 20 plus hours when you can't even be friendly with me will only make it harder for me to recover from this breakup. And I'm not willing to do that to myself. Hope you're able to find another way home. And I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. Sorry for any inconvenience this causes. Best of luck to you. By the way, it would be pretty lucky for you guys to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story.
Good for you.
Honestly, I'll just finish.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
only like
honestly.
2 sentences.
Give
Honestly,
us the last
good for
two
you. You did it.
sentences.
Yeah. So OP says, I didn't have it in me to be rude to her, but I got the message across nonetheless. And someone asked, did she reply? She did not. She's usually pretty avoidant when she's upset. So I don't expect to hear from her. And that, folks, is the end of that story. Yeah, definitely don't drive
Good
her.
for you. A good message to send to the way
Yeah.
he phrased everything.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Tried to pair my girlfriend with my brother, and it backfired hard.
Saw that one coming.
My girlfriend, 21 female, and I, 21 male, have been dating for about 7 months now. We both used to work at the same restaurant, and I asked her out. I've always felt like we were very different people, but that's what I liked about our relationship. I feel like I'm always learning something by being around her and try my best to indulge in her interests. By the way, this comes from Worried Prize 5387, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give some good advice goofily, but we do not have all of the answers. We would only tell you what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, 3 months ago, I introduced her to my family and they all seemed to like her, especially my brother, 20 male. I didn't really think much of it and was happy to see them get along since I'm very close to my brother. But I've realized over time that they just fit way better with each other. They both have the same interests in movies, books, music, sports, foods, you name it. Although my girlfriend was hesitant at first about it, I encouraged her to go for things alone with my brother if it wasn't something I was really into. And they both had a great time. And I know just having the same hobbies sounds trivial, but it's also their personalities. They're both very free-spirited and adventurous, and I can't help but notice that they look so much happier with each other than with me. Sometimes I feel really out of place around them, as if I'm not supposed to be there, but I swear this is not out of jealousy. I just genuinely think they're better for each other. I love both of them, and if this is what makes them happy, then I'd rather they date each other and let me move out of their way. I'm not exactly sure how to execute this or talk about this with either of them, though. How do I go about setting them up? There's an update.
Whoa, that was.
That's a lot.
Let me absorb all of that. What?
No, literally.
No, okay, that's a very. I don't even know is that a mature thing, but like, wow, you guys really connect. Like, you guys share the same interest. You're dating me, but you guys are cool, buddy. Are you just not into your girlfriend?
Yeah, I don't. No, I mean,
I like you can be friends. I don't know. It's very interesting.
One time my sister was seeing this guy and my mom thought he was better for me and she's like, you should set them up. And she's like, what?
Yeah, no.
And yeah, it was like really weird. It's just a weird thing. I don't know. Like, some people do connect better, but that doesn't mean they have to like be
date.
together.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if like you're dating. And I don't know. Why do you want to?
Especially when, if you guys are together still and you haven't broken up, that's kind of weird.
That is weird. Why do you want to share it with your brother? I understand that like maybe they're happier together, but like, I don't know, she's choosing you. So I feel like that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like before you start setting them up, maybe, I don't even know. I think one first is, because you said it wasn't jealousy, but you're like, oh, they look like such a happy couple. If you really aren't happy in your relationship, or you think things aren't going well in your relationship, and one, do you want to continue it? If you want to continue it, have a conversation with your girlfriend. If two, you're like, I kind of checked out, break up with her. Stop being in a relationship with her, then let them figure it out. This is weird that you're still in the middle of your relationship thinking maybe I should set them up.
There is an update. I'll cut to the chase. After writing that post, I did a lot of introspection and self-reflection. I think a lot of people caught this, but I do indeed suffer from low self-esteem and struggle with low confidence. I didn't want to acknowledge it, but it did get in the way of my relationships often. I'm a brutally honest man, and that is exactly what I did. I was very honest about all of this to my girlfriend. I didn't tell her that I thought my brother and her were soulmates, But I told her that sometimes I feel like I can't directly connect with her because we're so different. And what she said really changed my perspective on our relationship. She said that she loves that I'm different and compliment her in a way that completes her. She also expressed that she would want to get more involved in my hobbies. So the past few months, we've spent time doing random things together that we've individually enjoyed. And it's turned out great for us. She makes me really happy, and I try my best to make her life better too. I've also met her family now, and they're all lovely people as well. By the way, you can all be lovely people and listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search OK Storytime. Cool. You did it.
Yeah.
You sat and had a conversation, and it turned out well.
You're like, wait, this girl likes me.
Yeah.
It stemmed from the low self-esteem. I
I don't
hope this
know.
boosted your confidence and made your relationship even stronger.
Honestly, OP, I like your response of being like, maybe she deserves better rather than like tearing her down, because I feel like that's what a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
If like another person is, if another guy is talking to your girl, then you get threatened and are like, like my girl's doing this and and she's like going after all these guys and she's just, friendly and too friendly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a good question of like, why is she with me? Like, what do
Yeah.
I got?
Yeah,
thing.
instead it didn't go to like what's wrong with her. It went to how am I feeling, which I think is a very mature thing of you to do, because not a lot of men I feel are threatened.
Yeah, and it's good on you that you're like, I want her happy.
Yes, like
want her
that's
happy.
so sweet of you. We still do things together with my brother, and it's also a good time. I think at the end of the day, the root of all of this was indeed my insecurity. It really wasn't about my brother, because I think I would have been insecure if it was a friend or really anyone else. Besides, it is true that I enjoy my brother's company because of the kind of person he is. So it has made sense for me to be with someone who is similar. It attributes more to the fact that she fits really well in my life. I've also come to realize that I was looking at this from a very trivial perspective. My girlfriend is so much more than her hobbies and interests, and there's so many other things about her that actually set her apart from the other people in my life. And that is the end.
My partner couldn't stop lying.
Why you always lying?
Me, 36 female, have been with my partner, 34 male, for almost a decade. He's always had a problem with lying. That is a terrible start. You should break up with
he
him.
always had a problem with lying.
Yeah. I came in with such a healthy heart and mindset when I met him that I automatically gave him love and trust. He, on the other hand, was always skeptical of what I was doing and the intent behind it, probably because he's always lying and that's like what he does for himself.
This is MO.
My ego was so low that I didn't care what I needed to do to make him feel his best, and I personally saw it as my duty as a good partner to make him feel secure with me. By the way, this comes from Tap Advance 4422, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sam.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments below. So OP says, I didn't know his past, and if someone had hurt him before, I wanted him to know that he was my priority and that I would do everything to make him feel safe. Anywhere I was, no matter how busy, I always picked up his calls. Many times I would even stay on a call for several minutes, putting everyone else on hold. I never declined his calls or told him I'm busy, I'll talk later. He liked photos, so I constantly took pictures of everything and showed him, which I gladly shared.
I worry that this is maybe you have a person who is a liar and avoidant, and then OP who's maybe a little bit
Anxiously
too
attached?
Anxiously attached.
Yeah, I think so.
It's never a good combo.
Never a good combo. Sometimes he accused me of lying or sounding sketchy, even though I had never given him a reason not to give me the benefit of the doubt.
Projection.
Still, I always made sure to fix it or do whatever was needed for him to believe me. When he would give me the silent treatment and be cold, I'd cater to him even more, since if I constantly asked him what was wrong, he still wouldn't say. Instead, he'd get more upset, and I didn't want to risk losing him. Yeah, again, recipe, I feel like OP knows in retrospect that this is not a good relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does seem like that.
We made it clear when we started dating that honesty was a must, but he's constantly broken the rule while always expecting honesty and transparency from me.
Well, then this is like a breakup.
He would go from not telling me anything important to saying things like, I can't believe you didn't tell me. I've tried to be understanding and patient, but it's taken a lot on my mental health amongst other stuff he does. I've developed PTSD with nightmares daily that worsen when his family's involved, and anxiety from dealing with his lies.
I worry that you're still in this relationship.
I hope not.
I worry that this is sounding like you're still in that.
At first, when some things didn't make sense, I'd ask him once and take his answers for what they were. But then, when more things stopped making sense, I started softly asking more questions. He'd get upset and say, "What's wrong with you? You don't understand simple things? Why do you keep asking when I already told you?" I was always painted as being paranoid or overreacting, but as time went on, I started doing more detective work. And I uncovered that my instincts were right.
Yeah, trust your instincts. Trust your
your
gut.
instincts, Again, trickle lying is the same thing.
Yeah.
Like lying all the way down.
If he's just telling white lies but
How do you know the deeper
consistently,
lies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good. He's lied about big things and small things, which is usually true of compulsive liars. They do small lies to cover up the big lies.
Yeah. It's a snowball of lies.
Snowball of lies. And it only gets bigger the more you push that snowball down the mountain.
Of lies.
I've tried to communicate my expectations of transparency and was eager to answer any questions on the road to regaining trust, but he always ends up getting defenses and says that I'm being controlling or harmful in my tone and words. For example, these days when he gaslights me repeatedly, I've learned to say, "Are you stupid?" from him previously saying that to me in arguments.
See, when it gets to that point,
Because now you're becoming the person that you don't like.
yeah, and if it's like if you don't like when he says that, then we just leave the relationship. We don't turn it on our partner.
Recently, when his family made a last-minute visit and I had to be away, I told him not to lie about even the smallest thing. Again, that is already a sign they should break up.
If you are already having to tell him because you know that he's a liar, oh, please do not lie, even about like tiny little things, this relationship is over.
Asking the liar not to lie about lying is like asking a
Fish
dog
not to swim.
not to bark.
Yeah.
Asking a little rat chihuahua dog not to bark, specifically.
They bark
All the time.
all the time.
It's in their nature.
Mm-hmm.
He reassured me and said he'd be so transparent that it would feel like I was right there with him. Well, not too long after, he lied about something as small as eating a piece of bread and then got defensive when I confronted him. He added a few more micro lies as we argued about the initial one he hit me with. I said, "I'm sorry and I won't lie again. What more do you want me to say? You won't drop it. I'm tired of this BS." It's not just about the bread. It's about the fact that he can't seem to tell the truth even when it's easy. I've said a few things to him during arguments, one of which is the constant lying, knowing it's hurting your partner, isn't husband material, and I crave to be with a man who can be easily transparent with me because he respects me enough, honor what I'm not comfortable with. Also, just a quick reminder, if someone's a compulsive liar, they're probably a people pleaser. They're lying to appease you, right?
Yeah, because they know you won't like a certain thing, and so it's just easier for them to lie.
There's often a connection with adultery and people pleasing because, again, like you want to please everyone, and if someone asks you to do something frisky, you're like, well, I don't want to make them upset, and maybe I want to do that too. It's like it's all kind of connected.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. It's one big pyramid scheme, man. Because he respects me enough to honor what I'm not comfortable with. This, of course, includes him, but he chooses to disqualify himself all the time. I've stuck around this long to prove. Oh, this long. I think this is present day.
That's what I'm saying. He's still with this person.
God. I've stuck around this long to prove I don't want any other man, despite how horrid he is morally towards me, specifically me. He treats others better.
I don't understand why you're putting yourself
the hell?
Through freaking crucifixion.
Lying is a norm with him and his family, and my experience with them has helped me pinpoint the root of this habit and the reason he uses lying to cope in his life. Still, I told him it's unacceptable in our relationship, the same way he doesn't want me to lie. But seeing me emotionally break down isn't enough for him to stop. When he said to me, "If you want to go find another guy that you crave," I was infuriated, cut him off, and said, "Okay."
OP,
and hung up.
Why are you...
I knew he was going to make it seem like I wanted another guy and not focus on the honesty part, as if I don't deserve someone who is honest with me. By the way, I want to be honest with you and make sure that you look at our podcast, wherever you get that podcast, whether it be iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Just search OK Storytimes for full episodes of stories just like this. But yeah, you should go check out the podcast if you haven't already. But we do have a little bit more of this story.
Check out of this relationship.
Check out of this relationship.
Because it's bad, and you know it's bad.
Yeah.
If someone's consistently lying, what is the reason of What I just don't like. Is there any redeeming quality here about him, about this man that has lied for the whole term of your relationship?
I don't think so. But
I don't
OP
think
asks,
so.
am I the a-hole for getting angry about being lied to about a piece of bread and other small things? I did ask him not to lie while I was away, even about the smallest thing, because historically when he lies about small things, there's always a huge thing behind it. To which he promised not to, and even said he'd be so transparent that it would feel like I was there anyway. So it feels like betrayal. Shouldn't that request be enough to respect? Yes. Yeah, I broke up with someone from a small lie because she lied about big things.
Yeah,
And I have no regrets. So
exactly.
I want to know if I'm being unreasonable.
Yes, you are.
He seems to not understand my
being
frustration.
unreasonable.
Are you guys able to understand it, or am I wrong?
You're being unreasonable because you're still in this relationship.
Yeah, you should leave.
You're not
It is
listening
not
to
unreasonable to
reason.
think this. I think, yes, it's like, oh, it's just a small thing. I should let it go. Like, I understand that logic, but again, it's not a small thing. This is a consistent big thing that has encompassed the whole relationship. Breaking up because someone disrespects a boundary that you put up because of big things in the past with a small thing is, I think,
The healthiest thing.
the
for you to
healthiest
do.
thing. Yeah.
And
I
if
think
you put up,
I think I've had relationships in the past where like partner has been doing something that like hasn't been okay, and I put up a boundary, and then there's been a small transgression of that. I actually for me, I didn't feel bad breaking up with those partners because it symbolized a disrespect of the
Yeah.
boundary in general and of like the relationship context.
I agree. I think if you put up a boundary, and in this case, he consistently disrespects it, then he's not going to ever respect you because you've shown that it doesn't even matter when you put up boundaries because you're not going to actually follow through.
Lori Hensler has a bar in the chat right now and says you cannot have an authentic relationship when you aren't dealing with the truth.
True.
Yep.
And that's true.
That
that's
is
the truth
true.
right there.
Yeah,
But truthfully, I think there's a little bit left.
that's it.
Oh,
Truthfully, that's the end of that
Truthfully,
story.
that's the end of that story. And if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you, and
And
see you tomorrow.